We are live.
Okay, all right. There's the for $1.
For $1.
What's the other one you always ask too?
I don't remember, but I'll remember when it's
when
too
it
late.
Happens. When it happens.
All right.
I'm just gonna grab some water.
Oh, well, then, all right, never mind.
I get really thirsty.
We will be starting momentarily. Kirby has to wet his whistle. What do I always say? There are things I always say.
You always do the for $1.
The Billy for $1. Oh yeah, you already did that.
That's the one.
Sweet releases, music.
Music. I've got music.
Okay.
Got the news intro on here too.
Okay.
We're gonna do one of these today, I'm sure.
Go Nintendo Podcast. New segment. Cool. New segment.
The new segment is you doing the soundboard. Hey, that's one you got to be on with. Trying to think of what else I say. Never played that one. I got me.
All right. Just making sure.
Today's whole episode will be nothing but soundboard clips. I mean, hey, listen, you go nuts. You're doing it.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go nuts, but the problem is I can't speak. Not that anyone who's listening cares what I have to say. It's not why they tune in, but like I can't speak and look at this at the same time. So don't expect me to listen to anything you're saying or give you any repartee as far as the news stories.
I don't anyway. Yeah, I was thinking. I was thinking when you were going to do the soundboard, I was like, oh, he's going to be very distracted this time.
Oh yeah.
All right, now let's go.
Just looking at it's distracting.
Look at it. 3, 2. There's one we don't hear now. Let me mute my phone. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, Webisode 857, the Hattrem Podcast. Kirby, do you want to read the podcast or the Pokemon this week?
Sure.
It's just right underneath the top.
Okay. Hattrem. To this Pokemon, strong emotions apparently feel like incredibly loud noises, even if the emotions are happy ones.
So, pardon me, but he's autistic, I believe. That's autism, right? Of course, right off the bat, Mom Brain's not
He's
here.
on the spectrum.
He's on the spectrum.
I mean,
yeah.
it doesn't say anything about where it is on the spectrum.
What spectrum is this Pokemon on? Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Its abilities include Anticipation and Healer. It's let's see, 2 feet tall, 10.6 pounds. It is female, and its category is Serene.
That's correct.
Wait, have we discussed categories for
every
Pokemon?
week? We do it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Every week.
And
Because they're weird.
more
yeah.
obscure than,
you know,
than
like
the last.
some of them are
It's
like,
like fire, water, serene,
tea, candy, and all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, like it doesn't say what region it lives in or anything.
We don't do that.
Well, but we used to.
Oh, that was when the Pokedex used to have that in the top of the information. Now it doesn't. They changed
Why
how it
did they
works.
stop?
Well, I don't know. Ask
They were-
Professor Pokemon.
Okay. So anyway, that's Hattrem.
Thanks, Kirby.
So does it look like a hat? I'm guessing it looks like a hat.
I don't remember what it looks like. By the way, just because Kirby didn't say, anticipation means the Pokemon can sense an opposing Pokemon's dangerous moves, and healer means sometimes cures status conditions of the Pokemon's allies. There
Oh
you go.
yeah, sorry, I didn't describe what the abilities actually were.
Let's Hattrem.
Hey, I was ready.
Oh, because a
Not
hat.
bad, right?
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hattrem looks like it is wearing a big hat. There you go.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There you go.
It is
look at that,
female.
and look at this. As you might have guessed, Mom Brain is not here. This was a last-minute decision. I've decided that we are breaking up. No, she is back to school, actually, as in college. I wish we had some sort of Rodney Dangerfield quote to use here, but we don't. But something popped up just like a half hour ago, and we could have done this thing that popped up, and Mom Brain could do her schoolwork now, or we could have not done the thing that popped up later, and she could have done the podcast, and we would have missed it because of her college work. So she opted for go do the college work now. So she misses you. She loves you. She's literally upstairs. Maybe she'll come downstairs to say hello. I don't know, but we will miss her. But Do Michaels is on the soundboard today.
A big hello to my fans.
And Josh is here too. Hello, alternates Liz. I love Mom Brain as well. Hello, Steve Irwin and Tanuki Tony and Giant Reggie and Highland Tom and the Super Sanchez and the 8-Bit Lego and Sarah and William George and Drake Gamer. Oh, Ice Dilbert. I'll get back to that in a second. Hello, Mars Burrow and Kotori and whoever else is coming in here. Hello, Kurt Dog. Good to see you. Let me get to introductions for the rest of the crew first, and then I will read this thing because I'm very interested. Hello, Do. How are you?
Do I have Tubi?
Do I have Kirby? Tubi. Hello, Kirby.
Hey,
Josh, we already heard from you, my friend. How you doing? How's it going? How you living?
I'm here to grace you with my presence.
Thank you very much. George is here. George, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm having a lime of my life. I tried to say lime of my life.
I'm having a lime of my lime. I like it. Glad to hear it. Sounds like a really good day.
Thanks. Very cool.
And I am here. Nikki Hill is not here, I will say. And for those at the table, I did ask him about this before I'm getting into it. So this was all approved. I am sorry to say Nikki Hill, after 3+ years, has fallen. He has gotten the COVID.
I mean, he's alive, but he has COVID.
He is alive. I will not say he's well. I will say he's okay. Okay. He, yes, he has been stricken with the COVID. I made sure to shame him in the group chat. He found out on, what was it, Tuesday? He found out? Monday, Tuesday, something like that. We are all safe. Everyone here is fine. So he will be gone from this week's podcast. He should be safe and sound by next week's podcast, as far as I know. But we wish him a speedy recovery. You can send your lovely messages in the chat if you want to. You don't have to say anything. But if you do, I'm sure he will see them. So I wanted to say rest easy, Nikki Hill, but I almost said rest in peace, Nikki. But he's doing good. We wish him a speedy recovery.
From your grave.
So sorry to report that, but it is what it is. Another one bites the dust. Kirby, you have not had it.
Fatality.
No, somehow I've managed to avoid it so far.
Hope it stays that way. Myself as well. I'm sure this IKEA table is not wood, but we both knocked on it. Do you have not confirmed had it? You are suspicious in the very early days of COVID. You may have had it.
Like the first couple of months, got really sick, and my roommate and his girlfriend were really sick a couple of weeks before I was, so I got whatever it was from them. They never tested positive, although they were like deathly ill, and then I got deathly ill. I never tested at all.
You just stayed home.
I just stayed at home and told people I had it.
Yeah.
So I might not have had it, but I was real sick at that time.
Listen, it doesn't matter if you knew you had it or not. The important thing is you stayed away from people and kept everyone safe. And this was back when you were living across the country, and you probably did, 10 days, if not more than that?
I did 14 days.
Yeah. So I have not had it, thankfully. Mom Brain, even though she is a teacher, has not had it, luckily. But she's face shield and masked all the time still. Not required here, but she does that, and it seems to have paid off. I'm always masked wherever we go, if I rarely go anywhere. And I've tried really hard for our group of friends that we see often to make sure everybody's good and we're a safe group, and it seems like it's paying off. We've all been okay. Nikki Hill didn't get it from us. Got it from some filthy person out there. We don't know who it is. But anyway.
And Nikki Hill was being very vigilant for a very long time.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And that's I think that's one of the reasons why we've managed to avoid it too.
Yep, we're staying ever vigilant. Oh, I like it. So one more thing before I get into the other more things before I get into news. I saw that Ice Dilbert left something in the chat here about Spy X Family, because I talked about that last week. He says, I watched Spy X Family this week. I liked it, but I wanted them to use Bond's abilities more. I watched the first half with the English dub, which was very good. And the second half of the English subs, I have to say, though, this is one of the best translations that I think I've ever seen. I really now wonder what the English dub would have said. I haven't gotten back into watching it because I've been catching up on My Hero Academia, and I watched the I guess the end of the first season of Chainsaw Man this week, so I haven't done more Spy X Family yet, but I will. I'm glad you checked it out, and I'm glad you liked it. See, it seems like light applause for that one. I need to, like I said, I liked the show, but I wasn't crazy about it. But I'm only 5 episodes in, so I'm going to give it more time, definitely. But thanks for sharing. I'm glad you checked it out and enjoyed it. Hello, Solid Master Ling. Thanks for your lovely gift as always. Hello, Caramel Macron. That's not a name I recognize. Thanks for joining us.
A big hello to my fans.
Josh, everybody's Josh's fan right off the bat. Hello, Gecko Kitsune. And Nikki Hill is in there. There you go. Hello, Anastasia Beaverhausen. Backseat Studios. What Joe Shabadoo. What's going on today? Must be a boring weekend. More people here than usual. Thanks for joining us. So as usual, as recent tradition, we have things to talk about before we get into news. But the first one is gaming related.
Hi-oh.
The Last of Us, the show has premiered. I watched premiere last week. Do watch as well. Kirby, yes, no?
I haven't watched it yet.
Do you mind if we talk spoilers?
I
mean, there's
I
no
guess
real
not.
spoilers.
I mean,
guess you've never played the game, have you?
I did for a little bit, but
Doesn't like stealth.
I don't know. I didn't get very far, but I don't know. I remember thinking the stealth was
What are you thinking?
was fine, but I don't know. I kind of want to start it from the beginning at some point.
Well, the show started from the beginning, so it's a perfect thing to watch. You and I have talked about it outside of the show, but we can talk about it on the show.
Everything.
First off, the show did very well for HBO. It was their second highest debut in the last 10 years. And the only thing it lost out to was House of the Dragon, which has the power of Game of Thrones behind it. So a fantastic debut viewership-wise. It was 5 million people roughly for the premiere. And within 24 hours of that doubled to 10 million people. So within one day of the show airing, 10 million people tuned in.
Wow,
So
I am
this
impressed.
week should be, I guess, bigger. Usually you see it drop from week to week, but I think this time it's got to be at least more than 5 million.
Because of the hype, you think?
Well, with 5 million people catching, so 5 million watching the debut, and then 24 hours later, another 5 million people watching it. I would imagine this week there's a good chance that, sure, you'll lose a couple of 5 that watched at the premiere, but you'll gain more from the other 5 million that watched afterwards. So I think it'll at least be close, but I would imagine to be over like a higher 5 or a lower 6.
Not
something
even
like
close.
That. So we'll find out. But anyway, thoughts on the show? Do anything you want to say?
Yeah, it's good. If I had no idea what was going on with the games or the story or anything, I'd be very, very intrigued, and I'd be very excited about the show. As of right now, the show is just fine. I don't mean that in a bad way at all. It's just, for me, The Last of Us as a video game franchise has a lot to live up to, especially when it comes to story, arguably the most important part of that whole series. And they're doing it. Hey, they're staying, so far it's pretty true to the story in the games, and I really, really appreciate that. But it also kind of made me see that we don't need the show. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still gonna watch it,
Well,
and I like
we
it.
don't.
But nobody needs this. Like the game is perfect as far as from that storytelling perspective. And I'm watching this, and it's great. It's great, but it's just not gonna live up for me personally. It'll never live up, and it's kind of just something I'm gonna watch because it's well done, and that's about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I totally get what you're saying, and I definitely agree. I mean, it was made as a game first, so that's the way it was conceived, and will probably be the best way to experience it. But sadly, there are millions of people who will never, ever not just play this game, but never play video games. So they're not going to experience it. And if there's a way for them to experience the story and have a connection with the franchise outside of playing the game, that's fine because I think it's a great story. I love the characters. Like, more ways for people to experience it is fine by me as long as those adaptations are well handled. And it seems like this one will be based on the first episode. Would I prefer people play the game? Sure. But, I'm not going to poop on anybody for, like I haven't read any of the Game of Thrones books, but I've watched the show. So like I'm connected to the franchise now and have understanding of it and am interested in it. And I didn't read the books and I don't plan on reading the books. So, these things exist to bring more people into the franchise's ecosystem, and I think that's good. Like, my parents are watching the show and they're not playing the game.
Yeah, that's what TV is for. It's for
Yeah.
people who don't play video games or read books.
That's right. That's right. My cousins play games, but they haven't played the game, and they're watching the show, and so it's wooing people who don't play games, like my dad, who do play games, like my mom and my cousins. My dad, there's a great story about my dad in this show because my dad watched it before I did. I was playing Fortnite. I was playing a video game instead of watching a show about a video game. And my dad watched the show during its premiere. So he called me to talk to me about it. And I said, I haven't watched it yet. So I called him the next day, spurred on by a reminder from Deux, because he was like, did you talk to your dad about the game or about the show yet? And I was like, I should call him right now, and I'll see what he says.
Cared about what he had to say, and that was a mistake. Not for me, because I didn't have to speak to him. But
so I called him and I was asking him about the show, and he really liked it, and he's going to watch from week to week. But then I slowly found out he, at least for a good portion of the show, had no idea what was going on. So in the show is extremely faithful to the game. So the show starts out pretty much just like the game does. Joel's daughter and Joel are interacting, and I'll try and stay as spoiler free as possible. Things happen, and then there's a time jump, and you see Joel years later, once whatever the plague has spread across the land and everybody's been.
But it's not a House of the
cordycepted.
Dragon time jump that's confusing,
Yeah.
and you have no idea what time periods or.
I mean,
anything.
it does
Like,
literally say 20
this
years
says
later.
20
on the
years
screen.
later, and then it's 20 years later, and that's
So-
all you got to know.
This 20 years later, you see some kid wandering out of the wilderness, basically, or like a dilapidated cityscape, coming towards a city where people are living. And you see guards looking at this kid wandering in. And obviously the guards are thinking, uh-oh, this is a zombie, for lack of a better term, a zombie. So they bring the kid in to have the kid checked to see if the kid's been bitten. And they see that the kid's been bitten. So...
And they test him and see he's positive.
Yeah, they test the kid. The kid doesn't know what's going on, but they test the kid to see that he's been bitten, and he's been bitten. So this woman is speaking to the kid, and the lady's like, all right, we're going to give you all the food you want, all the toys you could want. We just got to give you this medicine, and then we'll take you to the room where everything is. So
I hate to laugh because it's a serious moment, but thinking about your dad watching this and being like, he's getting all the toys, he's getting all the medicine.
So, to the viewer, the average viewer, you're like, oh, this kid's infected and they're going to kill the kid with this shot because they're just having a kid sit there, be calm and be like, you're going to get all the candy and toys you want, kid. Just as soon as we give you this shot, we're going to
So
take you to the
horrible.
party room. So you're like, oh, the kid's dying. The next scene is a truck. The next scene is Joel basically loading bodies up to set them on fire to clear them out because they're dead. And they bus in a new
My body is ready.
truckload of dead bodies. And somebody else Joel's working with opens the back of the truck, and you see the little kid's dead body under a blanket, same shoes, and the lady comes over to Joel and she's like, I don't remember if she says it's a kid, but she's like, I can't do it.
She's like, I can't do it. You got to do it. And
So Joel goes and takes the kid's body and throws it on the heap, and they set it on fire. So there's the backstory. My dad watching this show. My
When do
dad.
they get to the party room?
My dad had no idea that this kid was killed. So
Oh,
he thought the
he didn't
kid was
recognize the
offered
shoes?
candy and toys, and then
But
another
that's-
scene happened, and it was some other dead person.
that's not even the craziest part of it all.
Because I'm like, Dad, how did you not know it was them? You thought they were just going to take care of this kid and give him candy and toys? And he's like,
Sure,
I
why
don't know
not?
what's going on. I was like, well, what about the shoes? And he's like, I just thought it was the same shoe.
the style.
I thought they were wearing the same
The
shoes.
apocalypse shoes that all the kids
Yeah.
are after.
So I was like, who did you think that kid was? And he goes, he didn't say the name, but I'm making this make sense for you guys. He's like, I thought it was Ellie, the other main character in the show, who at this point we have not
we haven't
seen.
even seen her
Hasn't been
yet.
We have
introduced.
never seen. So in the span of 5 minutes, my dad thought there was a time jump 20 years later to a child who's what? 10?
Even younger than Ellie's supposed
Even
to
younger
be,
than Ellie.
and even less female than Ellie's
Yes,
supposed
the
to be.
kid is a boy. Yeah. So then my dad thinks after that there's another time jump of I guess 5 years that they don't mention on screen.
Yeah, he's watching. Too
And they
much
show
House of the
Ellie chained
Dragon.
up somewhere, and he's like, so this is what my dad thinks. A kid came in, a kid got toys and candy, and then for some reason was chained up, I guess, for 5 years.
that's good.
So I don't know what's going on with my dad.
but he still liked the show.
he liked the
so-
show a lot. Yeah.
yeah. So it seems really easy to please him, you know.
But he really did like it though. My mom really, I haven't heard anybody watch it who says anything other than they really liked it. And I'm with Deux. I think the show is, it is very, very nice to see an adaptation of something that is so close to the original, at least so far. There's a little bit of superfluous stuff. There's a little bit of changes, but nothing big by any stretch of the imagination. This is very much like shot for shot, line for line in some instances,
In some
an
instances,
adaptation of The
yeah.
Last of Us. So
But you said they got rid of the spores.
yeah, but it's not too big of a deal right now.
Okay.
They're making it the zombies, for lack of a better term, the infected, they look the part as they do in The Last of Us. We haven't gotten too much into the weeds of how things are spread or anything like that. They've shown
It's
a bit.
already explained more about how of a zombie movie that most zombie movies don't touch, because that's the fantasy of it. In the first scene, they have
Yeah.
like basically an interview with a
Hi,
quote,
Mars Barrow.
scientist that just like talks about how this outbreak is going to happen in his eyes.
Yeah.
So it's already got more backstory, quote backstory of how the zombies came to exist than ever before. It hasn't really been a big deal, and like I don't think the spores thing moving forward will be that big of a deal. But
Yeah.
it's almost like it's a fantasy show. Like who cares if it's spores or not? I get why they changed it. Seems kind of annoying and stupid that they did, but whatever. I don't think it's going to make a huge difference.
It won't make a huge difference until the second game, if they do the successor, which they're planning on doing, because there's something that happens in the second game that is specifically related to spores and masks, and it's a major point for one of the characters. I don't know what they're going to do. Something there is going to have to be seriously changed. I'm not getting into spoiler territory, but there is a point where I'm like, that's going to need rejiggering for that if they adapt it, but we'll see. I did say doo-doo. Thank you, Kurt Dog. DD, mega doo-doo. But yeah, they do a great job. What's his face is great as Joel. The other what's her face is very good as
DD.
Ellie.
Mega doo-doo.
I agree with
Really.
Deux. We need to see more, but I think so far she's given me enough where I'm interested.
We need to see more from Ellie's character right now. I can't say one way or another.
Tess is fine.
I think she's more than fine, to be honest. I think she might be the one that's arguably the only one better than her game counterpart.
The only one that didn't really wow me was what's her name, Marlene,
And she is,
which is funny because it's the woman who voiced Marlene in the game.
Yeah,
But
she
okay.
ended the mocap, I think.
she's okay. I don't want to say she's bad. She's just I want more from it.
They had
she
to
did. She was a better voice actor than an actor
I
on
agree
screen
with
actor.
that. Yeah, I agree with you on that. But they also kind of rewrote a lot of that stuff just a little bit, like and so it had to move a little bit quicker. But
And it's filled with winks to the games and people who've played the games, stuff that doesn't stand out in any way, shape, or form to just your average viewer. But if you play the game, there's stuff where you're like, oh,
there's
there
stuff
it is.
that even I didn't get as it, like, just Ellie going through like her dad's drawers, or sorry, the daughter, Sarah, going through her dad's drawers in the beginning. That I didn't even pick up on until afterwards. I was like, oh, you do search drawers in games. and stuff.
The movie she gives him in the beginning is the
Is
same,
the same
movie.
from
And like in the game, there's a car accident in the beginning of the game where your car gets T-boned by another car. They don't do that in the show as the way a car accident happens for Joel's car, but like 2 minutes later, there is a car that T-bones another car, and you're like, oh, there it is. They did it, just they switched it up a little bit. Again, if you were just watching the show, nothing would stand out to you. But if you played the game, I know in the beginning of the game, you get T-boned. Like I said, that doesn't happen here. I won't spoil what happens. Something else happens to cause a car accident. And I was like, oh, they didn't do the T-bone. I wonder why. And then 2 seconds later, they show a T-bone. So I'm like, oh,
well, there's the class and the classic like, oh, this car accident happened to block this entire street perfectly. So now our one set of characters is on one side and one is on the other. That's like, I saw that in Resident Evil 2, baby. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, to be
the
fair,
original Resident Evil 2.
Thank you. To be fair, in this one, they did block off the street. They made a good point of showing how the cars were on fire and blocking the spot. You're like, okay, they couldn't get past it.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was bad. It was just great to be like, oh, okay, this is like very video game.
Because, you see that in games often where a character will be like, I can't get through here. And you're like, oh, you can't climb over this? What do you mean?
Right. You can't vault this tiny little wall or something.
And you're playing like Assassin's Creed or something. The guy's like, come on.
Right, you can go anywhere, but there's
fence. I can't get over this fence. But I mean, just as a show, I can't think of a single complaint. As someone who's played the games, Do and I and Mom Brain as well have all said, like, well, the point I made is playing a game, you are experiencing, I know you're seeing it through the eyes of other characters, but playing a game, you are emotionally experiencing it because you're doing it. Like, you're pushing these characters through these things. And you're making decisions and you're doing all of it. In the show, you're passive, you're watching. But in a game, you're in control. I know you're controlling other characters, but you get that sense of you're doing it. You feel the things more. With the shows, you don't get that. It's
and especially
outside body experience.
With that ending of that first game, which is pretty understated if you think of like climactic endings to epic stories. It's so understated, and like, yes, I know a regular TV show or movie could get there, but I don't know if, like, and the actors are they're really taking it seriously, and everyone like it was really loves the source material who's involved. You can tell, which I think is going to be helpful moving forward. But again, this might just sound like some guy who's played the game and has seen everything.
Well, it's the same thing with book people and movie people.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right. There's a similarity there, but like, it's going to be tough for me as someone who, like you said, played it and lived it.
Yeah.
To see that last scene and get to where I was when I was holding that controller, and it was like, oh my God, is that how it's going to end? Like, again, so understated, but
that
like
moment
so
is
poignant,
killer. It is a very quiet, understated moment, but it stays with you. Like, that moment, you're like, that the way it ends in particular. Yeah, fantastic. Hello, Zebra Foss. Good to see you, and we're glad you made it for a live show.
So I just hope they can get there. Again, I don't think it could be a 10 out of 10 perfect show, and I think even for us, it's not gonna get there, which is a shame. It almost makes me wish that I could be experiencing this show without any kind of background on it, because maybe my thoughts would be different. But so far they're really putting 110% in, and like, even the last shot of that first episode, it's like straight from the game, basically. Like, because I was like, I didn't until later. So,
I went back and watched it because I saw a movement of something at the last second. I was like, "What's going on over there?" And I went back and watched. And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." Hello, Kyle.
I really appreciated that, but I didn't catch it on the first. I was too busy like thinking about those iconic buildings that are like kind of like leaning on each other in the game, and I was like, they gotta have those buildings, and like the last shot is those buildings, and I was like, I did it. I'm not looking at anything else but the buildings. I did it.
I understand.
It's it's we have our, I don't want to say complaints, we have our thoughts on things, but like, I think we both want to stress, so far an absolutely excellent show. Like, fantastic job. Very excited to see where it goes. I mean, like, and this isn't a qualification of like, it's the best show for a video game adaptation. It's just a great show overall. But as far as video game to TV show adaptations, or adaptations of video games in general, far and away the best ever. Like, no question. Nothing comes close at all. So we have a long way to go. It's only the first episode, but so far, so very good. Chef's Smooch, says Marsboro.
And from what we've heard, the first season is the first game, too.
First season is the first game. They said if there's a second season, it's the second game, and they have already said there will not be a third season because there's no third game. So
Really?
they said if we do the
I
second
am in
season,
love with
it's
that.
done, and that's it. They said, yes, multiple people tied to the show has specifically said we are not going beyond the second game to do more with the show because that's not the way it works. So your dream come true.
Works out.
It is my dream come true.
I mean, like, as far as short shows and being done, that's great. As far as me, yes, I don't want it to go beyond the game because I don't want to see the story you guys decide to tell because that's not the story
That's
of The
what
Last of Us for me.
Yeah.
It's like what's that show on Netflix about the 13 Reasons Why? Now, I didn't read 13 Reasons Why.
Because it's a book.
I watched the show, but
Too
then
much
I knew
description.
the show continuing on would be its own thing. And I was like, I'm not going to watch those seasons. I don't want to see that. I want to see the adaptation of the
Well,
book. I don't know how close to the
I
book
could
it
have
was.
told
but-
you that Game of Thrones wasn't, after a certain amount of seasons,
Yeah.
they weren't following their things. But you didn't take my advice, did you? Because that show was too dang good. And then it turned into too dang bad.
Real dang bad, yeah.
Spicy, meet the bar!
Maybe the show will get ahead of the game. Backseat Studios, anything is possible. Reason 1, it's a book. Yeah, I should read that. I really like that first season of the show, but again, that could be sacrilege to people who read the book and really enjoyed it. But first season did it for me. That's one of those shows I watched where it made me think differently about life, and I actually contacted a few people based on that show. And it was very emotional. I really
never
cried
got
hard at
contacted. Did you
that.
get contacted
I didn't
because
have
of that show?
anything to apologize to you
so.
for that I thought, unless, I mean, you can bring it up now if you think I did.
Oh, you were just apologizing?
It was that show made me think about how I acted in high school with certain people, and I felt I needed to reach out and apologize. I'm not saying I drove anyone to suicide or anything, but
Did you
I mean-
call, who did you hit with the water balloon?
I hit a teacher in a face with a snowball, not a
Oh,
water
that's
balloon.
sorry. That's what I meant.
And
Did
that
you call her
was-
up?
No, I did not. Don't even remember that woman's name.
Okay.
But see, the difference is that's funny. That was an accident too. That was an accident from the get-go. That was intended for a friend's face and instead went into a teacher's face. But
Oh, that's good.
hi, Roth. Good to see you. Roth says it's Korean New Year today. Overall East Asia region, also known as Lunar New Year this weekend. Well, happy Lunar New Year, my friend.
My Pikmin got a little lunar outfit.
Oh, that's right. They have Lunar New Year Pikmin. But if you got them last year, these are different this time around. It's a different set. So if you thought you already collected them, you didn't. Also, happy Community Day, everybody. I believe it's Pokemon Go Classic Community Day today.
Ooh.
And also Pikmin Bloom Community Day.
Get your daffodil
Dew-
badge now.
Dude did his 10,000 steps today. He got back on the horse. Although by horse, I mean
Incredible!
walking, and got your badge. What is it? Daffodil badge?
Daffodil badge today.
I got mine today. That's why I'm still in my walking exercise clothes, because I came home and I didn't have enough time and I was too tired to shower. I'll shower later. I was just like, I didn't get a lot of sleep. I'm not going to get into detail. This week has been a horrible week for multiple reasons, a mentally draining week too. And I have had a horrible time sleeping. And all I could think about last night going to bed was, I got to get my community day in, and I know I'm not going to be able to sleep. So I got I don't know, 4.5 hours of sleep, and I got up and I was like, I got to do this walk now, because if I don't do it, I'm never going to do it. So I got my 10,000 steps. So we got our badges. Not going to lie, I'm sweating a little bit. The Pikmin were happy about it. I won't say I was happy about it, but what else we got here? That's about it, I guess. We don't need to talk more. So most importantly, like I said, feel better, Nikki Hill. But thanks for joining us in chat. All right, Dew, can you take us to the news section, please? Oh, thank you. It's like this guy's been doing the soundboard for years. This week kicked things back into... Oh, Dew, you're in trouble. This week kicked things back into action. We are back to a good amount of top stories, and it starts off with...
What's wrong with you?
Do you hear that?
Oh.
Do you hear that, anybody?
We do hear it.
Hey, be quiet.
Josh
I
hears
think I hear something. NPD, 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 NPD. Sure, what is that? What I sound like?
That is, Josh. It is NPD time.
Yes,
on a
I
second.
really did.
Thank you, Josh. Yes, okay. It's 2 stories. I thought okay. So NPD data, this was hotly contested. This was neck and neck, but we have the data. It was between the PS5 and the Switch, but in the United States, yes, the Switch did do it. The Switch was the number 1 best-selling hardware of the year in the United States. So it did beat out the PS5 thanks to strong sales of the Switch at the end of the year in the holiday season once again. So again, I don't have the exact numbers, but I do know for a fact, according to NPD, Switch beat out PS5. So there you go. That's in terms of units sold, obviously, not in terms of money made. Money made, the PS5 was number 1, but that makes sense because the system is either $500 or $600, where the Switch is either $200, $300, or $350. So there you go. Switch did it, everybody.
Money.
Very good. Link the Viking says, I predict the PS5 will take that crown for 2023. It's long solved its availability issues and its Switch trajectory is slowing down. I agree with everything you said there, my friend. I believe PS5 will be the winner now. Will Xbox be second place and Switch be third? That I don't know. You have to remember, this year is Tears of the Kingdom. That alone will be a long tail seller, a hardware mover. So we'll see where it goes. It's going to have huge numbers at launch, certainly in the United States and Europe. But I don't know, end of the year, if Xbox will be able to beat out Switch. We'll see. Xbox is not doing all that great. It's not doing bad, but it's not doing all that great. All right. So NPD, as I said,
That's a good question.
the top 10 video games. You know, I'm not going to make you do both of them. I have December's list and full year list. I'm just going to ask you about full year. So this is United States, all video games, top 10 for the year. Wait, is it? Oh, I'm stupid.
Is the game fun?
What did I do here?
You're asking us the top 10 all-time games of the year.
I know what I'm asking you, but I think I did the numbers wrong here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I need to go check something. I think I did this story wrong. I apologize.
Wrong how?
Let me tell you in a second.
Wrong.
Okay, here we go. I got you. All right, so I'm looking for top 20 best sellers in the United States all year.
E-Ring Elden R.
Mm-hmm.
E-Ring Elden R is number 7.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yes.
Yes. You don't have the placement?
I'm looking for it.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry.
Number 11.
So
the whatever
I'm
that
sorry.
Pokemon game was.
Yes, it's number 11. Elden Ring was number 2. I was looking at
Oh,
something
okay.
else on Twitter.
I figured it would be
I
higher than
apologize.
7.
E-Ring Elden R, number 2. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, number 11. We are officially on track now.
Okay.
All right.
Pokemon, whatever it was called.
Scarlet and Violet.
Thank you.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is number 6 overall. There's an easy follow-up to that.
Oh, Arceus then.
Arceus is also here, number 8. Less applause appropriate.
Oh, right. Almost. FIFA's not on there, is it?
Is that a guess for FIFA?
Well, we're talking about the U.S., so
We are.
Oh, so then probably the show.
MLB The Show is number 10.
There we go.
Wow.
Haven't heard that guy in a long time either.
Probably
United States, all of 2022, all of gaming.
NBA 2K 22.
NBA 2K23
23.
is number 15.
Forgot
yes.
they're like cars. It's like
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
ahead.
Wow.
Did I just not hear you guys guess number one?
We didn't guess number one.
No.
We're
I
supposed-
didn't.
We're probably supposed to know it.
It's number one in the United States.
Oh, geez, what's number one in the United States? We already said E-Ring. What could
That's
what
number
could
2.
beat that? God of War.
God of War is number 4. It's
Wow.
it's the U.S. guys.
Yeah.
We said
I know.
baseball and basketball. So what? Call of Duty, bro.
Call of Duty number 1.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 number 1.
Wow.
All right, so you got 1, 2. You didn't guess 3 yet. Yeah, I could do it this way. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba.
Football.
Madden.
Madden NFL 23. You got number 4. You didn't get number 5. You know what? I like this music approach.
Star Wars,
Star Wars.
Legos.
Lego Star Wars. You got Pokemon.
Wow.
You got. Oh, you didn't guess number 7. You almost guessed number 7, but you stopped yourself.
What did I?
You
almost
didn't
say?
trust in yourself.
When I said FIFA.
When you said FIFA,
Okay.
that's correct. FIFA's big here.
Unbelievable.
You got RCS.
Never
Okay, you didn't
remember.
get number 9. I don't have music for this. I could say a quote, not from the game, but this should steer you guys in the right direction because we were all here for this
I'm listening.
lovely moment. This moment happened with all 3 of us very late. I wish I were LeVar Burton. I wish I were LeVar Burton.
Star Trek the game. No.
I'll let you solve that puzzle. You should get there. The brain power between both of you.
Okay.
Wait, is it a game with Lance Reddick?
Oh, it's yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Oh, okay.
Frozen Wilds. What's it called? Aloy and her robot dinosaur.
yes.
Horizon Zero or not?
But
Zero
I've seen
Dawn,
everything.
You got it. You
Horizon
got it.
Zero
something
Dawn.
West, right?
Horizon 2 Forbidden West.
West.
Yes. You got it. That's great. MLB the show. You got You got Mario Kart 8. I'll give you this one because there's another Call of Duty Vanguard. Okay. Number 13, you haven't guessed. I can't think of a single song. I can't think of anything. I can only connect this personally. This was a game that one of our friends played when they worked at a convenience store. They brought it in with them to the convenience store. And they played it all the time. That late night that we stayed over, they played it.
Oh, it's got to be Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo, number 7. Or Gran Turismo 7 is number 13. Okay, number 14. Game name you said wrong so much that now I say it wrong.
Oh, this is Kirby in the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, it's correct. You got okay. Number 16. I can think of a fun one for this. I need to think. I could give it. I'm going to give it away right away. Ba-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. It is Sonic. Sonic Frontiers is number 16. Number 17. How could I make this funny?
Unbelievable.
Let's not make it funny. Let's make it nice. The actor who is famous for this role, the voice actor who is famous for this role, passed away sadly last year.
David Hayter.
No. David Hayter is alive and well.
Oh, Batman. What's his name? Kevin Conroy.
Yes. Gotham Knights is number 17. Number 18.
He's heading towards certain death.
Number 18 is a game
That was a joke, man.
you have. I don't think you've ever played. I've tried to get you to play it. Lube has tried to get you to play it.
Monster Hunter.
No.
Sure,
Good
why
guess,
not?
though. I think you may have played
Minecraft.
it. Yes, Minecraft.
Oh, right.
Number 19. It's a successor to an not infamous. It's a successor to a legendary. Nope, I shouldn't say that because that sets you somewhere. It's a. It's a spiritual
The game
successor to a
It's not fun.
hugely important Wii game, probably the most important Wii game.
Most important Wii game. So it's probably Wii Sports Resort or Switch Sports.
Switch Sports is the game. Yes, number 19.
What's wrong with you?
And number 20, Everybody is Here.
Wow.
Everybody's here.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
like the
understand.
tagline for the game.
Everybody's here. What is that? Among Us or something?
It's a
what it is.
Nintendo game.
Oh,
Everybody's here.
everybody.
Wow, really?
Everybody's here. Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Smash Brothers. There you go, Smash Brothers. You did the whole top 20 just with some hints. Great job, everybody.
Thanks.
There's your top 20 in the United States for the year. Link to Viking says, gotta catch them all. Dollars. Pokemon. That's you're right. Pokemon is big on those lists. So Scarlet and Violet made it on the year list, and it came out in November. And RCS came out over the summer and was also on that list too. So yeah. Pokemon big business. I don't believe moving on. Yeah, I'll do this very quickly. If I say the name Monolith Soft nowadays, everybody thinks of the Xenoblade series. But Monolith Soft has been around for quite a while.
Yeah,
and
back in our day, it meant what?
You tell me.
I was hoping you'd tell me.
Well, it meant a whole bunch of things, but it also meant Baten Kaitos, which was a GameCube RPG.
Of course, how could I forget?
That got a sequel. And rumor has it that RPG
Mega doo-doo.
is getting a remake for the
Baten
Switch.
Mega Kaitos.
This will be from Bandai Namco, obviously. Crescendo and Monolith Soft and Nintendo. So rumor has it this 2003 GameCube game is getting a remake.
Is the game fun?
I've never played it, but I've heard great things about the game, and people have clamored for a remake for a long time now. It will be 2 decades now. Obviously, the GameCube didn't have a huge library of RPGs, but this was one of the standouts and one of the favorites among RPG fans. So yes, rumor has it it will get a remake, and we will hear about it later this year. There's also a slight potential that this remake will include the sequel as well, but apparently that's less concrete. The more concrete of the two rumors is that the first game is getting some sort of remake / remaster. So look forward to potentially hearing about that later.
I'm interested in this.
Ladasta has the most upvoted comment and says, oh my God, if this is true, I can't believe it. I loved that game. The visuals were mind-blowing to me back then, and I really liked the battle system. I can't for the life of me remember any of the characters besides the main character, but it's been 18 years since I played it, so who can blame me? At least I remember the feelings it gave me, and I'm so ready to relive again. I would be ready to play for the first time, because now, although I'm still afraid of RPGs, I'm not so afraid that I would stay away from them.
I'm not afraid anymore.
I believe this is some sort of card-related RPG, too. I could be wrong about that, but there you go. Monolith Soft has grown exponentially since those days, and their games have reached millions and millions more people through the success of the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise. So there you go. You can see where they got their, well, not where they got their start, but one of their early games potentially on the Switch. Nice to see the GameCube live on in some ways. Dude, can I get a drum roll, please? Dude got up to go to the bathroom. We have more news about the Switch. The Switch, in terms of the United States, has set a record, and it is a record that has never been broken. Oh, we got a drum roll. Thank you, Kirby.
No problem. It took me a while.
The Switch has been the best-selling game hardware in the United States for 5 years straight. Thank you. That is a record that has never been achieved before. Nintendo now holds a record in the United States that no other game company. Oh, all right. No other game company has achieved. So since NPD started tracking game hardware and software sales in 1995, so 3 decades ago, 05, 15, 20, almost 3 decades ago. No piece of gaming hardware has managed to be the #1 best-selling system for 5 years running. Think of all the systems. What do we got? We got the original PlayStation, the PlayStation 2. You got the Genesis. You got the Super Nintendo. You got the Xbox, like Xbox 360, none of them managed to hold on to the first place
PlayStation
spot.
2.
That's
Oh,
what I said.
That's the one that did beat him, or they beat PlayStation 2 finally.
Nothing has ever done this ever. There has never been a system to ever do this.
So now it's official because we knew this day was coming, but now the Switch is number one. Or
We didn't know because it was between PS5 and Switch this year, and Switch eked it out in the United States, giving it its 5th year.
oh, forgive me, I thought you were talking all time. We're not even close.
Well,
to that
this is
yet.
all time.
Oh, this is. So
No.
you would have thought the PlayStation 5. It's only been out what 3 years.
Okay,
Has
you're
it
very
been 3 years?
confused.
God,
This is a record for consecutive first place finishes for a piece of hardware. So every year, the Switch has had to go up against other hardware.
Oh.
And for the last 4 years, the Switch was number one overall. Now with the PS5, this year in particular for the PS5, total sales in the United States were very close to each other. Either Switch was going to be number one or PS5 was going to be number one. The dust has settled. We know that Switch once again sold more than PS5 this year, giving it the record for 2022, which means 5 years in a row, Switch has been number one. No other piece of gaming hardware has ever done that.
I understand.
Know what I mean?
The Wii
I
wasn't
understand.
5 years running because it had competition from the 360 and the PS3, specifically the 360 at that time anyway. But yeah, that's an amazing record. What's going to be able to do beat that? I don't
So
know.
what's going on here? Like, I'm not complaining because I love my Switch more than I've loved a video game system in a long, long time. I think the thing is amazing. But other than appeal from parents who have no idea about gaming and think this is the best solution for their children, what is selling these systems? Because nobody seems to give them the respect that they deserve.
The respect. Well, that's Nintendo. Nintendo never gets the respect they deserve. Listen, there's a difference. Goes for all of the world in general. There's a difference between what you see on the internet and the real world. What you see on the internet are the hyper fixated people, the extra passionate people, and the extra crazy people. So you start to get an idea of like, this is how things are. When you look at the real world, that's not how things are. So again, like your point about parents buying it for their kids, that's certainly a thing. But as we learned a few weeks back on one of the podcasts, the kids sector for gaming was the smallest for Switch ownership. The biggest was the 20 to 40 something. That was the biggest sweet spot for Switch owners. So kid audience, they want PS5 and Xbox because they want blood and guts and boobs and all that stuff. Even though you get more boobs
They
on
wanna
Switch.
grow up too fast.
But everybody else wants Switch because, I mean, well, I don't know. They want it because they want it. First party Nintendo games, the insane library on the system. It's the cheapest system. Maybe that has something to do with it, even though that's not true because the Xbox is cheaper. But whatever people see in the Switch makes them want it 5 years running more than any other system. So there you go. Again, I forget which commenter said it. I believe it was Link the Viking, but next year probably will go to PS5. It seems all but a foregone conclusion on that, just because momentum for the system, better stock situation. You'll have some exclusives coming out.
I was
that
going
I'm
to
sure
say
people will be
they might
excited
have.
about. Yeah, I don't know. Can I name any? No. They got what is it? Forspoken? Is that the one?
Forspoken.
Or is it Forsaken? What is it? Forspoken? Is that the magic one?
I have spoken.
Oh, the one that you played the demo and didn't care for?
That's right.
I believe it was Forspoken.
I really wanted to like that. Yeah, it is Forspoken. I really wanted to like that.
What's it about?
It's about some girl who gets sucked into like a medieval fantasy magic world, and she's a spellcaster.
She's
Oh.
too potty mouthed for RMC.
The writing is so bad. And listen, I played the demo as soon as it came out because I was very excited for this game. Listen, let's put it this way. I didn't like the game. The demo is not doing the game any favors. People are very much not interested in the game after the demo. All I see all over the place is people saying, "Thank God this demo came out. Now I know not to buy the game."
Oh, so people are agreeing with you.
People are not liking this game. Square Enix is potentially, I'm going to say potentially, being fishy with review copies. Review embargo is Monday, And a lot of outlets that traditionally get review copies from Square Enix are not getting them for this game. Now that could be because some outlets shared
Sorry.
No, I like it. Shared an hour's worth of leaked gameplay. Square Enix could say like, "Hey, you showed that. We're not going to supply you with a review code." It could also be because they're like, "Oh boy,
They
this
know
is
they
not
got a
going to
turd.
go over well."
They
So
got a turd on their hands. It's what it is.
and it's a shame because it's a new IP. I always applaud anybody trying something with a new IP.
You have to, because that's all we're gonna have.
Call me woke all you want, but it's nice to see a lead character that has representation other than a white guy. I think that's awesome to
Give me a
see.
break. We've
Now-
had white women.
now I'm not saying that to be like the game deserves to be played because of that. I'm not saying that, or the game's good because of that. I'm not saying that either, but
I wouldn't
I'm
have a
saying it is
problem.
nice to see. It's just a shame that it seems like the game is a turd, as Deux said. I played the demo and I really didn't like it. I know the demo's been updated since then. Because the demo came out, people didn't like the demo, and Square Enix was like, "Oh, that's not representative of the final game." And people are like, "Well, then why put out the demo?"
That's true. Why put out the demo? you
Because
know?
Square Enix does great things with demos. For like when it was Project Triangle Strategy, they're like, "Here's a demo early on, slice of the game. Your feedback from this demo will improve the game during development." And that demo came out like a year before the game came out. And Square Enix put out another demo, and they're like, "Here's all the things you guys said you didn't like. Here's how we've changed it. Play this demo. Tell us what you think, and we'll use this feedback for the final game." That's how you do it. They put
That
out this
is.
demo, and they're like, "Here's a demo, everybody. Game's out in a month and a half." And now they're like, "Oh, don't take that demo
Awkward,
as the
yeah.
final game."
Yeah, don't put the demo out unless you're asking for constructive criticism, because you don't want people to play the game
Yeah.
before it comes out, to be honest, because it'll happen like this.
Yeah, demos are great for gamers, but they can be the kiss of death for selling the game for the publisher and the developer. If you have a game you believe
He's heading towards certain
very
death.
strongly in, and you have a game that you think is very strong, putting out a demo can entice more people. But if you're not extremely confident in the game and you don't plan on using the feedback from the demo to change the game, then you're biting yourself, whatever the phrase is. Why can't I think of the
In the butt.
in the butt? Sure.
I mean, I'm reading about this game on Wikipedia right now, and it says that the ray tracing is excellent.
It does have ray tracing, and it does have performance mode and all that stuff. So there you go. That's where we're at in games nowadays. But anyway, I don't know how we. Oh, sorry guys. I should have been in.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about exclusives, I guess. for the
Yes,
PS5?
PS5 probably being number one this year. Hello, Super Blast X. Good to see you. I'm sorry, guys. Hello, Fluffernutter. Good to see you. I try to get into that chat. Hello, Blood Ocean. 4 months away. I'm guessing that's about Tears of the
Hello.
Kingdom. Hello. Lovely having you guys here with us. I need something. I need another tablet right here that has the Discord in it, so I can just read what you guys are saying and keep at it.
I'm just
Okay.
trying to do a hello.
Do we have a hello on there?
I couldn't find one. There might be one, but I've got this.
I'll take it. All right. A comment from Link the Viking. He says this is on the Switch setting this new record. He says doomed for 5 years. What a failure. Yep, that's the running gag. Very happy with my
that
stupid
was a
image
joke, man.
for this picture. I put a Switch on Braun Strowman's head.
Nice.
I wanted something. Listen, this is one of those stories. All right, so the title is Switch tops U.S. game hardware sales for 5 years straight, setting a new record. What am I going to do? Just put a picture of the Switch? Like, I need something that's like, showing the Switch's power. I used to use this image of a Switch that was drawn as a wrestler elbow dropping other systems, but the artist who drew the art, who I always credited for the art, told me not to use it. So I don't use it. Yeah, so I don't use it anymore. So this is what you get. This is what you get, people.
Even though you were crediting him.
I credited him
this.
every time. And on Twitter, I tagged him on Twitter as well and included his watermark on the picture. And then he contacted me, let's say, angrily and said, "Don't use my
Really?
picture." Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So I don't know what he wants. Why put your watermark on a picture
It's
if you
funny.
don't
It's
like? I
pretty
don't
funny.
know.
And it
So I
wasn't-
guess it can't be sold.
And it wasn't like, I mean, you think he'd be like, pay me or something. Like, why else?
Nope,
Why else would
just
you
angry.
react like that?
Listen, if anybody ever reaches out to me and it's like, don't use this image, that's fine.
Of
I get it.
course,
Yeah.
of course.
Just, you gotta,
It's
like,
just
he was very
it's-
angry.
It's ridiculous, is
Very
what
angry.
it is. It's ridiculous, and you know
Very.
what? You don't deserve the God-given gifts of art that you've
don't
gotten. He's
deserve
no
it.
crazy colonel, that's for sure.
Whoa.
I said it, Yoshi. All right, I said it.
Monster Hunter Rise. You were talking about Monster Hunter, dude. I would try to get you to play.
I mean,
played it?
not really. You know,
Yeah.
reluctantly, I was talking about.
Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak has hit a new sales total. It has achieved 5 million sold. Last
Is
check-in.
the game fun?
I here it is. It's also
The
on
game.
Game Pass.
Is fun.
And it is the
Wait, this is on more than just a Nintendo system?
So Rise was a Switch exclusive. Then a while later, it came to PC, and now a while later, it's come to. I believe it's on PS5 and Xbox Series XS now. It's on Game Pass. So you can enjoy it at no additional cost with Game Pass.
Nice. So with peace and love, people are enjoying having this game in everywhere.
Yes, Monster Hunter Rise has done.
But I've seen
Monster
everything.
Hunter is a major franchise for Capcom now, not just in Japan. With Monster Hunter
Everywhere.
World, when that came
All
out,
over the world, people
World
love this.
brought people into it. Yeah, and now it's major. So again, this is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak specifically. That's the expansion for Monster Hunter Rise. It has now achieved 5 million sold. So the base game has sold 11.2 million units, and roughly half of those people have bought the expansion. So it's doing incredibly well for an expansion. 5 million sold. Sticer says,
amazing.
don't often see numbers, sales numbers for DLC like this. Great news for Monster Hunter fans on Switch. Yeah, that's my point here. We're not talking about the game itself. We're talking about the DLC for the game has sold over 5 million units. So crazy. It continues to chug on. One of my favorite stories of the week.
We got a new bongo.
Man, this is a good story. So we got Waluigi. We got Wario.
Mhm.
We could have had another Wa, but Shigeru Miyamoto turned it down.
Oh man, this is gonna be good, isn't it?
Camelot, the company who does most of the sports games for Nintendo, they were the ones that came up with Waluigi for, what was it, Mario Tennis, I believe. And Nintendo was like, yeah, this is a great idea. So Camelot was working on another game. They never say what game it was, probably a sports game. And they were like, hey, we introduced Waluigi last time, and that went over really well. I think it's time for a new Wa creation. And they had drawn up pictures, and they went to Nintendo, and they're like, we got Wario and we got Waluigi. Let us introduce you to Walupeach. And Shigeru Miyamoto said, we're not doing that. So yeah, they but it wasn't Walupeach. They called it Walupeach. So,
Walupeach.
So
it couldn't get any better.
Walupeach.
And then you made it better.
So this comes straight from Shugo Takahashi, the vice president of Camelot Software Planning. He says they again, don't name the game, but they came up with the idea of Walupeach, and they drew
So
artwork
good.
for Walupeach. But here's
Do we
how
have
it went.
artwork for it or
No, because
Darn
here's
it.
how it went. They went to Nintendo and they were like, hey, we want to do Walupeach. And before they could even show their artwork, Shigeru Miyamoto was like, no,
Get out of
we're
my
not doing
office.
Walupeach. According to them, Miyamoto thought the idea would be too similar to Doronjo or Doronho, a villain from an anime series called Yatterman. I've heard of Yatterman.
I was thinking that.
But
It'd be too
anyway,
derivative.
sadly, we never got to see Walupeach. The best I can give you, I searched the internet to find some sort of picture of Waluigi as Peach, and I came up with something that I added a background to. That's what I can get for you.
Oh,
for
you
Walupeach.
could have done like an AI.
I
AI
thought of an
drawing.
AI Walupeach. If I had
Yeah,
access
that's
to the
pretty good.
higher quality AI stuff, but I'm still doing, whatever the.
No, you should have used like the worst quality.
Well,
that would've been
that's
funnier.
True, that's
I
true.
hate. I don't want to even put any ideas in his head, but Crazy Colonel, we love you. That's all I'm gonna say.
If anybody has access to one of those great AI art generators in the Discord right now, try and prompt it for that, because I'd love to see what it'd come up with.
I don't know. Isn't that controversial? Those AI things, isn't it like taking away something from real artists? Or I haven't been paying attention to it. I just
Well, it's all a personal matter. That's up to you, does it?
Well, I mean, if I'm laughing at Walupeach, then I don't care who the artist is. But you
listen,
know.
we would appreciate if Crazy Colonel were to draw that, we would appreciate that more, obviously, than a computer-generated image. But I can still look at a computer-generated image and laugh at it. Totodile, first comment says, "Oh my God!"
Nice.
Yes, sorry, we never saw
Oh my
Walupeach.
God!
Maybe one day that artwork will get out there, but it was
So-
not meant to be.
so does that make-
Kibosh from Miyamoto?
Does that make Miyamoto sexist then, or?
Yes.
I think it
Yes,
just means he
does.
doesn't.
Yes, yes, it does. Yes, we should cancel him immediately.
It might just mean he doesn't like stupid ideas.
Hurry up already.
Yes, give
I
me
didn't mean
a
to write
smart
that.
idea like Waluigi, and no, stupid ideas
Well,
like
that's what's so
Walupeach.
funny about, because like now Waluigi and Wario, they don't seem so strange because they've just been around for forever. But
Yeah.
like the first time somebody pitched Wario and Waluigi, like thank
Wario's-
goodness
yeah.
they said yes, but why would that ever be a yes?
Here's an idea: Wario. He's like Mario except dumber, and we
Works.
flip
And
the
he
M
loves
upside
garlic.
down, and that's
Yeah,
it.
well, at
He's
least
got
that
bad
makes
breath and
like
he
some
farts.
logical sense.
And then
It's-
somebody
it's an
took-
M flipped upside down. And
somebody
then,
took it dumber and made Waluigi because there's an evil Wario, so there's or Mario. There's got to be an evil
Brilliant.
Luigi.
It's brilliant.
So it's not that dumb when somebody's like, "There's a Peach. There's got to be an evil Peach, Walupeach."
Oh my God.
Walupeach.
I can't
like-
wait till we get a Waluigi.
So it's all
mansion.
right. So it shouldn't be So Mario, Wario, and then you get Waluigi. So Peach
here's the
would
thing,
be what's an
Walu-
upside? It'd be beach. An upside down P is a B.
Yeah, I guess it is
Beach.
a lowercase b. Yeah.
And then where do you go from beach to like what would Daisy be? Beach you Daisy. Like what do you do?
Well, here's the thing. Waluigi should have been Wooigi.
Luigi.
You're definitely right.
Well, what's funny is
And then-
in the meeting somebody pitched Luigi
I
and
don't
they had to
know.
switch it.
Luigi.
Like they had to
And, Wa-
switch it.
and Walupeach should have just been Weech.
Weech.
God.
Weech. There you go.
Princess-
Weech and Weasley.
Yeah, Princess
man.
Weech or
Whoa.
Wincess Weech.
Wincest.
I can't even laugh hard enough.
Yeah, see, they screwed it up from almost from the beginning.
No. Oh, I love it. But dude, you're right. Like you say things and they're dumb, but eventually they become normal. Like the Wii, when the Wii name first happened, it was like, Wii, what the hell is this? And then Wii becomes normal later on.
I mean, I'm
like,
still not totally over that.
like the name Kirby is not a bad name, but the character itself, it's like
Oh, I never
why
thought of
would
Kirby.
you,
It's weird.
Why would you ever be like, yeah, this is gonna be gangbusters? And I mean, thank goodness somebody didn't go against that.
Well,
There's so many examples
The-
of stuff like that.
Well, that's-
the
yeah, that's-
history with that is that was a lawyer that won them a big case named Kirby, and
it was
they
like
honored him
John
by
Kirby
naming
or
character
something?
Kirby. Yeah,
Oh, really?
that's the story with that.
But yeah, but that's what makes it so weird. It's just like a normal guy's name.
Yeah.
And you've got this character that is
Yeah.
like,
What a
So what is I want to know more about this lawyer. I'm sure it's been talked about to death, but how did I not?
I
hear
don't
about
remember what he was doing for
oh,
them.
I might know actually. I want to say he was the lawyer who represented Nintendo in their case against Universal.
That's what I was going to say. Their Donkey
Over
Kong,
the-
King
yeah.
Kong thing, and he won it for them. And
Oh.
Nintendo was like, "Thanks for that win."
This?
And
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's not. I thought it was. See, I'm in today's mindset where I'm thinking like somebody's suing them because it was called a love hotel and their grandmother got like raped
No.
there or something.
Whoa!
So it was like
wow.
R-worded. Sorry.
No,
I didn't mean it. Yeah, I don't mean it in
No,
a bad way.
I got no problem. I don't
think-
mean rape in a bad way.
I obviously it's bad in this
You
hypothetical.
don't have to
that's
say
never
R word on
happened.
this podcast. It was just
Okay.
the story was
Okay.
whoa.
Well, yeah, but I'm thinking, today, like we're not thinking
Yes.
about King Kong, Donkey
Yeah.
Kong, because today it's like WWE, WWF. Who cares anymore?
Yeah,
But
you're
like,
not thinking
now
licensing
it's-
issue. You're thinking
exactly.
horrible person
Now
issue.
it's like
yeah.
Harvey Weinstein
Exactly.
Emoto.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, when you hear that stuff today, that's what you think. But this is your
yes.
run of the mill IP stuff. So yeah.
We're getting a lot of freaky Walupeaches in the
Oh,
Discord.
yeah,
man.
let me
like
go- let me go.
really crazy looking ones.
Oh my God, Eggplant Junior. Oh my God.
yeah, these are crazy. I'm only attracted to half of them.
Eggplant Junior. What are you using? What are you using to get those? Those are amazing. Look at Ice
That
Dilbert.
last
That
one's
Ice Dilbert one is
insane.
pretty cool.
They're good.
Oh
man.
my God, Eggplant. These are amazing.
I
Holy
hate that I like
crap!
these.
I don't know which one I like. I think that Ice
The Ice
Dilbert
Dilbert one
one
might be like,
but that
canon.
Eggplant
That
Junior
one's
one,
canon.
the Eggplant Junior one, the first one is pretty nuts.
I was gonna say the last. Well, the first one's.
I
really
don't know
good.
what to make of the last
The
one.
last
That's
one's
weird.
so scary. I mean, the last one's if they did like a horror movie.
Oh
Oh,
my
there's
God.
another one.
Oh, that one just came. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that one. I was talking about that one.
Yeah, these are frightening.
Holy crap. Thank you, Eggplant Jr. These are amazing. If you're not in the Discord, as I've said
Wow.
before, you're missing some amazing stuff. Guys, I'm sorry to do this to you again, you two.
Oh no.
We have the European hardware and software sales
Oh,
for
no.
December 2022. Switch was number 1 in Europe. No surprise there. But we have our December 2022 top 20 games. Europe, all games, physical only. No, that's a lie. Europe, all games.
All
Physical
games,
and digital.
physical, digital.
It's just that
all
Nintendo
games,
doesn't include
December.
digital. Yeah.
Well, started off with the one that's always on there.
Oh, you can do it this time.
E-Ring Eldenar.
E-Ring Elden R is number 11. Remember, this is December. I just want to say December, not all year.
Got to be God of War is number 1, I'm sure.
God of War is number 3.
Pokemon.
Pokemon
Scarlet
is
and
number
Violet.
4 for Violet, and number 8 for Scarlet would be number 2 overall.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty is number 2.
Okay.
Still
And-
missing the number 1. You guys are having number 1 issues this time.
Number 1
Well,
issues.
it's hard.
Number 1 in Europe.
Oh, it's got to
Europe.
be the EFA.
FIFA is number
FIFA.
1, yes.
Oh, right. There's more.
Yeah.
This is a top 20. I won't make you do all
There's
of them,
only the
but
2 of us, and we got to keep
each
this
one
going.
of you give me one more, and then I'll call it.
All right. Smash Brothers.
He guesses Smash Brothers, and he is wrong.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Kirby, I'll still take one guess from you.
Sure. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, always a safe bet. Number 7. There you go. You didn't
What
guess.
rules, you sons of bitches?
You didn't guess Grand Theft Auto 5. Beep beep. Which is number 5.
Well, because that
Great,
game's
perfect for
like
that.
15 years old.
Number 6 is Switch Sports. Number 9 is Rat Hat Redemption 2.
Oh, right.
Number 10 is Just Dance 22. Oh, Just Dance 2023. Number 12 is Need for Speed Unbound. Number 13 is NBA 2K23. 14 is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. 15 is Sonic Frontiers. 16 is Minecraft, only the Switch edition.
You're too slow.
Oh, number 17 is Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Number 18 is Lego Star Wars. Number 19 is Gran Turismo 7. And number 20 is Splatoon 3. Sorry. Splatoon 3.
Wow, I am impressed.
Again, I need to stress this point because it makes everything Nintendo does more impressive. This is a top 20 list. There are multiple Nintendo installments on here. Nintendo does not report digital sales. So Nintendo's placements on this list are only for physical sales, while everybody else does include digital and physical. So puts things in perspective.
That story was boring.
Thank
and
you,
dumb.
Josh. I appreciate it. Well, I'm sure it's boring for you because you're a robot. You know numbers come to you
Yes,
so
I really
easily.
did.
What do we got here?
Numbers.
1.33 million game consoles were sold across European markets. This is a drop of 19% year over year. There's a sharp drop in sales for the Xbox Series X and the Switch. Makes sense for Switch, not so much for the Xbox. Why is there a sharp drop? PS5 sales were also down, but only marginally, 3.4%. Makes sense with stock and all that. And blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we got all that. Oh, I'll tell you this. Pokemon Violet, Scarlet and Violet sales were 5% higher than Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. And they were I thought I had another one in here. I guess not. There you go. Giant Reggie says GTA number 5 at number 5. GTA 5 at number 5. Are we going to find out one day that Rockstar is using GTA Online money to continuously buy shipments of their own game to keep it in the charts month after month? It is pretty impressive.
Top Gun on the top.
Listen, if you are a little kid, Mom Brain, come say hi real quick. If you're a little kid, you want Grand Theft Auto.
Hey, buds.
Hi, nice to see you. Give us some words of wisdom before you go.
Sure, why not?
Latency is the time between an antecedent stimulus and a response.
Oh, that's what I was going for.
Thanks, guys.
Wow.
You look
I'm
great, Mom. I
impressed.
like your hair. I like your hat.
Thanks. Is it okay with you if I just grind some beans?
Yeah, go ahead.
It'll be quick. Do you want me to shut the door?
Who do you think you are?
Yeah, I do. How's it going, everybody?
We'll live with it. Deux doing great, really.
I don't doubt
He's
it.
doing a
I
great
have no
job.
doubt.
Yeah, he's a natural.
He is a natural.
All right. Well, hey, buds. I'm sorry.
Thanks for
but
stopping it.
I
explained it to him. Don't worry.
What did you tell them?
Teachers got to learn.
Well, I mean, look.
Students got to learn. Teacher has become the student.
This is actually, it's a master's degree, but also I'll be a BCBA. I don't have to teach anymore. I'd be a therapist.
Well, like a BSBA.
I am
I
actually
understand.
BCBA stands for what?
a board certified
No,
behavior
I
analyst.
was looking for something funny.
Because crime be awful.
I have spoken.
Butts, cocks, booty holes, anus.
Cheers to
Got it.
rears and other private parts.
Wow.
Moving on, there's rumors of Retro working on something else other than Metroid Prime 4. So we know they are working on Metroid Prime 4. How long now? For 4 years, actually. Now, here's the thing. Nintendo came out a while ago, 4 years ago, and they put out that video, which I really applauded them for, because I've never seen a company do this. And they were like, listen, we were doing Metroid Prime 4. It wasn't coming together to the way we wanted it to. So we got to be honest. We scrapped everything, and we're starting over. We're sorry about the delay, but this is important to us. So they're like, we started over, and this time we're working with Retro. So there you go. Really applauded Nintendo for doing that, because it sucks for them. But rather than being like, we'll talk about it whenever, they were like, hey, listen, let's just be upfront about this. We scrapped what we were doing, and we're starting fresh. So good on them. It's been 4 years of that. And probably Retro was already working on the game before Nintendo made that announcement. So probably longer for Retro, probably 4.5 years. We should see something sometime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if Metroid Prime 4 becomes a cross-gen title. So it comes just like Zelda Breath of the Wild was. Wii U and Switch. I'm thinking Metroid Prime 4 might end up being Switch and whatever Switch successor is. But rumor has it, Retro is working on something other than Metroid Prime 4. This was dug up by Dr. 81, who searches through LinkedIn profiles and job listings like none other. He does a fantastic job. You should check him out. So he's been keeping track of LinkedIn profiles and what Retro Studios employees are saying. And there are multiple job listings that make it look like Retro is working on something outside of Metroid Prime 4. We don't know what it is, but it seems like it's an established IP, which, if it's Retro, would most likely mean a Nintendo IP. So, this is from job listings that Retro Studios employees specifically have listings that say Metroid Prime 4 and employees that say Metroid Prime 4. These do not include this stuff. It's very important to say that. So the question is, what is it? If it's an established IP and Nintendo, it could certainly be Donkey Kong again. Doc Trey, not Doctor. Doc Trey 81. Thank you for the correction, Saul Messerly.
I didn't mean to hit that.
I like it. Hi, Tentavision. So what could it be? Could be Donkey Kong. They've done Donkey Kong before, and they did an excellent job with Donkey Kong Country Returns and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
All right, so okay. I was wondering, because it was like they needed more time with this Metroid Prime, and like Nintendo's like, oh, we want you to work on more stuff. So like they've done stuff for Nintendo in the past, and they've proven that they're good at it. So like, all right, so this
also, when it's working on another project, it could be the start of a project, and that's going to be a smaller subset of the team. So, it could be 90% of Retro is still doing Metroid Prime 4. But by this point in Metroid Prime 4's development, this is like everybody knows what they're doing. This is we're going. Like, this is.
And these are the guys. This Retro is the same group that did the original Metroid Primes as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, a lot of those developers aren't there, but some of them still are, and important people still are. And to also counterpoint that, Retro obviously knows what they're doing because they did fantastic jobs with the 2 Donkey Kong games that they did. Tropical Freeze is a fantastic game. So very talented developers. Now,
how's the music?
In Tropical Freeze, way better. Tropical Freeze has a great soundtrack. I was really disappointed with, because they got David Wise back. They got the Donkey Kong guy.
The smart guy.
Because the Donkey Kong Country Returns I loved, but it lacked in the music. I was really disappointed with music. And Nintendo and Retro heard that, and they're like, okay, well, for the next one, we'll bring back the guy who did the music for the other ones. So
I'm glad that they did that, but it is kind of curious that they didn't recognize that music was a big deal about the Donkey Kong games. You know, like, can you imagine being like, Donkey Kong Returns coming out, the music stinks, but no one's gonna care.
Well,
can you imagine?
I don't want to say the music stinks. It's just not memorable. They have returning tunes, which are great, but the new music, I can't remember any of it. But there is one stage, Fear Factory or something, a Fear Factory callback where they take the old Fear Factory song and do it in a new way. And the whole stage is music based, like things move to the beat of the song. Fantastic stage. One of my favorite levels in any game. Oh, very good. But they remedied the situation for Tropical Freeze. So good on them. This is the series that gave us Sticker Brush Symphony, says Tentavision. That's true.
Oh, that song is so good.
So what is Retro working on? Donkey Kong? What else? Maybe a Zelda? Who knows, guys? I don't know, but it seems like they're working on an established IP. I did not say Beer Factory, Fluffernutter. I said Fear Factory. I've never been to a beer factory. Oh, I guess I have.
Thank you.
A brew pub counts as a beer factory, right?
Yeah, I mean, if they brew the beer there, I guess that you could say that.
King Broly says this unannounced title is most likely Metroid Prime 4, but with the subtitle, since that hasn't been announced. I know people want to believe Retro is working on some super secret project, but I simply don't see it. Well, I disagree, King Broly. I know you're all things Metroid, but multiple profiles on LinkedIn right now say specifically working on Metroid Prime 4. So for other profiles to say working on an unannounced project wouldn't make any sense because it could say Metroid Prime 4. So that's my 2 cents, my friend. This is not a top story. North America, what do we got? I'll tell you. We got Fire Emblem Engage. Thank you. That's the big one this week, everybody. But it's not the only big one.
That's not possible.
That's a strategy. Ooh, that's a strategy RPG. And in a more RPG territory is Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden. 2 more Persona games, first time on Nintendo platforms. Also, you can get them as a bundle if you'd like.
It's free.
A Matter of Principle is available. A Space for the Unbound, which I've heard lovely things about, and I will be reviewing, but have not started yet. Arcade Archives Senyo. Brawl.io. Clunky Hero. Counter Bottle Shooter Pro Aim Master Target Bottle Shoot 3D Game Strike Pistol. Courageous Deduction Nori 2 Betrayed Nori. Demolish and Build Classic. Drift and Drive. Escape to the Ocean. Fury Fight Gangsters of the City. Gardenia. Gray's Counter GM. Hack and Shoot Heroes. Harem Girl Isabella. Midnight Runner, Blade Galaxy Beat Puzzle Legacy 3D Games Ultimate Edition.
No one cares about me.
Minimal Move. Motorcycle Mechanic Simulator 2021.
I didn't mean to do that.
Never Awake. Omega Bot. Peachy Boy. Pixel Game Maker Series Bomb Machine Gunzog. Puzzle by Nikolai S. Hayawake. Right and Down. Rubber Bandits. Salamander County Public Television. She Wants Me Dead Deluxe Edition.
Dark Metamorphosis.
Sis's Path. Smile Mo. Snake Game. Snake fighting with knives.
Snake.
Switch Sides. Swords and Bones Deluxe Edition. The Excavation of Hobbs Barrow. Tohu Fan-Made Virtual Autography. Trenches. Under Dungeon I'm very interested in.
I'm interested in this.
Void Prison. and Zumiman or Zumiman. Link the Viking says, channels my inner Captain Picard, Fire Emblem, engage.
I have spoken.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
Make it so. Make it so.
He kept on moving from topic to topic, moving from sentence to sentence, whatever that is. Quite hypnotic. Are you up for this? Since you're doing the soundboard too?
Sure, yeah. Sure.
And it's all Josh, could you introduce us, please? To Nikki Hill's section, which we'll do in honor of Nikki Hill not being here.
I can do that.
Josh, we need you to do the intro.
Oh, thank you, Josh.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nikki's sweet releases.
All right, time for a little. Thank you, Josh. Thank you very much. Big shoes to fill here. Do Michael's filling in for Nikki Hill when we're talking about the European Switch eShop releases for the week of January 19th, the year of our Lord, 2023.
I think you're going to do a lime job.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, George. Coming up, we've got A Matter of Principle, A Space for the Unbound, Brawl.io, Car Parking Multiplayer.
Sounds fun.
Critical Zone,
The Critical Zone.
Dragon Fury, Fire Emblem Engage, Fury Fight, Gangsters of City, Go Rally, Graze Counter GM, Mamorha,
I want Mamorha.
Minimal Move, Mrs. Cat Between Worlds, Netscape.
Yeah, that's that. God, we talked about it last week and I forgot the name. NES game, point and click, adventure.
Oh yeah, Mist.
No.
Oh,
Deja Vu, but that's not the one I'm trying to think of. Deja Vu is correct, but
not Nightshade. Is it the one where you're in the castle?
yes.
Yeah, what is that one called?
I don't know why I can never remember. I'm sure somebody in the Discord
Someone in
saying
the
it.
chat's got it. I'm sure.
Go on. Sorry to interrupt.
They say those eyes. Oh my God! When you get your phone back, RMC, there's an amazing George Patrick Stewart AI.
Oh!
It's the best thing you've ever seen in your life. I'm gonna get through these as quick as possible. Never awake. Persona 3 Portable, Persona 3 Portable, and Persona 4 Golden Bundle. Persona 4 Golden, Pixel Boy, Lost in the Castle, Pixel Game Maker Series Pentacore, Recall, Rubber Bandits, Smile Mo.
You should smile, Mo.
You should smile, Mo. That's inappropriate. Switch sides. Under Dungeon. What could be under the dungeon? Void Prison and Wings of Blue Star. Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you, Dewey Hill.
we miss Dewey. I mean, Nikki.
First comment comes from Shillelagh, and it says, I feel like I've heard Rubber Bandits before. Isn't it an Irish comedy show? I don't know. All right, let me go in the chat.
You have to see that picture, man. It's the best
Shadowgate,
thing.
Nikki Hill. Yes, Shadowgate. Thank you. Yes, Fluffernutter. I am playing with Mr. Mime, my favorite Pokemon. And oh my God.
Isn't it amazing? How do they even do that?
I'm sorry, Eggplant. If I missed it, what AI thing are you using? Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
So good.
Oh, there we go. Kyle typed it all out. He just kept talking in one incredibly long sentence, unbroken sentence, moving from topic to topic. So he had a chance to no chance to interrupt.
It was really quite hypnotic.
Nautic.
Incredibly unbroken sentence moving from topic to topic. Incredibly unbroken sentence moving from topic to topic.
YTM&D, what a time to be alive. Playground AI, you can use source images. Thank you, Eggplant Jr. That sounds amazing. Those things are so much fun to screw with. You know what? I'd need to listen to it again, Kurt Dog. No. Never mind. I thought you were talking about the Picard thing, us recreating it. You weren't. You're talking about the Reggie Lucien song. I will not be recreating that.
Oh, now that is good.
Listen, we've all done
What's
things
wrong
we
with
regret. That is one of them for me.
My body is ready.
I don't know how you get. There's so much I could talk. I mean, I could do a whole podcast just on that song, but because I know when you recorded it, it was like you in your parents' house, and like I could tell it was probably like 3 a.m. and you're like trying to be real quiet.
And it was with a microphone that came with our old compact computer.
I love it.
Nintendo nerd on the internet late at night, obsessed with YTM&D, nothing else to do.
And that was like the beginning of that stuff. When YTM&D, when you showed me YTM&D, and it was just what, You're the Man Now, dog, like over and over. I mean, why was that so funny? But it was, and it was like opening a new door for comedy in a weird way, where the internet has really given us some weird comedy that we were here for, like our parents, maybe your parents, because they're cool, but like my parents would never look at anything that I've laughed at on the internet and been like, this is hilarious. I want to be here for it.
My parents don't know YTM&D, but they do know Two Girls, One Cup. So they're not that bad. They missed most parents don't know about all the internet memes.
But even if they did know about it, they wouldn't get it. That's the thing. Like, they don't get it. And that's the
Lemon Party.
That's the thing I'm scared about, because like I'm already out of touch, and like I don't want to be old and out of touch. Like I want to at least be in touch. I'm gonna be old, but I want to be in touch a little.
The guy with the glass jar that he sat on. I'll leave it at that. Listen, you could traumatize a whole generation by posting a picture of a glass jar and a My Little Pony figurine, and that's all I'm going to say, because that's all I need to say, because some people will be horrified and others won't get it. And if you don't get it, it's probably better that you don't get it. Oh, that was a perfect sound effect for it too. All right, moving on. And Nintendo's got a patent, and it looks like they got an idea for more Nintendogs, but this would be with AR. So Nintendogs on the DS, huge hit, revolutionary, helped boost the Nintendo DS to super stardom. Nintendogs plus Cats on the 3DS. It was a fine game, but people weren't that interested. It sold well, but it wasn't the phenomenon that Nintendogs was. Is it time for a new Nintendogs? Could it happen now? Well, with the way Nintendo might be proposing it, there's potential, because it seems like this would be on mobile devices and Nintendo would be using AR. So instead of having a virtual dog in a virtual playroom, you would have a virtual dog in your real life room or house or on the street or whatever, much like Pokemon Go or Pikmin Bloom use AR. This is a Nintendo patent. As I always say, this does not mean Nintendo will actually release something, but Nintendo has an idea they feel is worth patenting. So there's their AR patent for some sort of Nintendogs-like app. So maybe down the road, we could see that Nintendo does do mobile releases. So there you go. Link the Viking says Nintendogs as a mobile AR game would clean up, in my opinion. They can easily monetize it with hundreds of cosmetic items for your dog. Yeah, that's it. Make Nintendogs free on mobile and add in a whole bunch of stuff that people would buy to accessorize their dog with.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting that they haven't done that, because like, this day and age, especially, people and their dogs, I mean, it's like their children. So
it's true.
Why wouldn't you do that crap? I mean, people are playing Mario Run for some reason, or the Mario Kart iOS game. So why not, do it? Make some more money, give it to your your attorney, Mr. Kirby.
This is our final top story. I don't think he's still their attorney. I think the guy might be dead, actually. This is our final top
He's
story.
in another realm right now.
Oh, I get it. And we're talking about a Kirby story now, too. HAL Labs is known for Kirby games and Smash Brothers, but Kirby games. And a story popped up that was shared by a former employee. They said they weren't paid for their overtime work while they were working for HAL during the pandemic. HAL basically said, now this could be lost in translation, which I'm sure it is to some degree.
Money.
HAL was like, listen, if you worked overtime during the pandemic, that's on you, because we said we weren't paying overtime during the pandemic.
That's on you. I love that. I love that. You worked overtime for us? Well,
Yeah.
that's on you.
This person says, I wasn't told that when I was hired, and it's not mentioned in the contract. So when I worked overtime during the pandemic, I expected to be paid for it.
Nope, you were told. Sorry, buddy.
The Japanese Labor Standards
you.
Bureau has reprimanded HAL Labs for this. So the situation has been rectified. But basically, yeah, HAL can't be like, that's on you, man. We said you're not doing it. So
Can you imagine being...
it sounds like this is a miscommunication all around. HAL to the employees, the employee and their contract, HAL to the employee, and the employee to HAL. But obviously, the problem is with HAL here. You can't just be like, hey, buddy, you did the work. Sorry, we told you not to. So what's
terrible.
important here is
we
this,
told you not to work.
Listen, we said don't do extra work during the pandemic because you're not being paid, but you did it anyway. Your fault. So miscommunication, it's been cleared up. That's the important part. So going forward, it won't be a problem anymore. Shillelagh says, thankfully, the worker got what they were owed in the end, but after being taken to task by the Labor Standards Bureau. Yeah. Listen, the Labor Standards Bureau is there to do a job. They did the job. They jumped on HAL. HAL remedied the situation.
You, Link, are the hero.
It all ends well. Sad that it happened in the first place. Happy that it ended with the worker getting their pay. And that's that. All right. There's your top stories. You worked hard. That's on you.
Only a company can do that. You know, like,
yeah, right.
Like you as yourself talking to an employee, you could never, I mean, you couldn't, you is a bad example because you could never do that anyway. But like, you could never be like, as a contractor, tell one of your guys like, oh, you worked overtime? Sorry, I told you not to. Like, kidding me? Like, unbelievable.
We'll take that work.
I love
We're not
that.
paying you for it.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Like it's somebody's job to reach out to that employee and be like, thanks for the overtime work. You're getting nothing.
Yeah.
And
right?
we told you that. Like, can you imagine if that was your life? God.
Well, like I said, taken care of, and it won't happen again at HAL, but it will happen at other companies.
Oh, you
I'm
worked
sure.
overtime? Well, that was under our old policy.
We actually pay ourselves for your overtime. All right, moving on. Kirby.
Yes.
Did you play anything this week?
Oh yeah, I did.
Sorry, that was the wrong. I saw drum roll and I was like, oh, this is gonna be a drum roll, but no, apparently it's drum roll fail. Yes.
Yeah, there's no actual drum roll, which is what makes it confusing.
Oh yeah, I guess I should have known that.
So so my girlfriend is letting me borrow her copy of Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Looking for a drum roll still. Sorry.
Okay. There's drum roll. There's just regular drum roll.
I'm not going to interrupt Kirby any longer. It's gone on way too long.
They're all named drum roll because they're the things that come after drum roll as well. So like if she would do the drum roll and it was a bad thing, she'd do the fail one.
Yeah, I'm sure it makes sense to you guys.
There's your drum roll. What's it called?
I don't dare tell you. It's called drum roll.
Yeah, okay. Now you play drum roll fail.
Yeah.
Anyway, Super Mario 3D All Stars.
Yeah, so I played a little Mario Galaxy, just for like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. But I also played for the first time Mario Sunshine.
Whoa! Woo! I bet it felt janky.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I know you two are like big fans of this game, so I wanted to choose my words carefully, but it does feel like a game that from 20 years ago.
Yeah, we know.
I don't even think it feels like that. I think it just feels bad. Like I would say Mario 64 controls way better.
All they needed was to just redo the controls. I don't know why, because there's no inverse controls and it's just a little janky.
Mario controls weirdly. His momentum is weird. It's weird.
I noticed the camera was a little.
Camera's a little rough,
weird as well.
Definitely. Which I'll cut him slack on that as far as when it originally came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, controls are the sticking point. Mario's physics and momentum are off in that game, and I think it's because of Flood. Obviously, if they made it 2 now, it'd be a million times better. But yeah, just for whatever reason, that one with Nintendo, I don't think it's a bad game. I like that game, but it's Mario controls. I would say that's the worst controlling 3D Mario by a mile.
Yeah, and that one's the one that I look back on with rose-colored glasses more than probably any other game. You know what I mean? Because most of the games you can look back on and be like, "Oh, I remember it so fondly," and they were remembered fondly because they were good. This one is good, but it's like I look back on it way more favorably than it deserves. I hate to say.
Oh, okay. Well, that's weird because I got so used to hearing like both of you speak very highly of the game, and you never I never remember like hearing these complaints about.
I
the
remember
controls.
Deux speaking about it fondly. I know I like it, but I don't think I remember like really heaping praise on it.
I like it. I
like
it
the vibe a
lot.
lot. I like the what are those guys? The Delfino Plaza guys.
There was a few years where I played it like every Christmas, because it just I think the first time I played it was around wintertime, and it just felt like a vacation from myself. So there's things that I still really, really love about it. But yeah, I mean,
I really like the level design. I really like the levels that take away flood. I don't like how they control, but I like that idea. I like the vacation environment.
And yeah, because that's something that I would never really be interested in. It's like, oh, Sonic goes on vacation. Like, no, don't give me that. Like, that sounds terrible. But like, it's actually really fun and cool. And like the music they make is like island Mario music, which is like really great. Like everything else is still up to that Nintendo
more
standard.
steel drum than your usual Mario game.
Well, yeah, and every song that has every Mario song with steel drum has never been not a banger.
That's right.
So yeah, like there's so much to love about it, but yeah, we're looking back, we're looking back on it with favorable eyes. At least I certainly am.
Bedroom eyes.
I also noticed how
Baby locked in.
Just wanted to
something that caught my attention was just like how much like spoken dialogue there is in the game compared to like pretty much any other Mario game I've played.
That shocked me back in the day.
Yeah,
that was very surprising.
That definitely stood out.
Mario.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's good to know that it isn't just me, because I was having a little trouble not just with the camera but the controls as well.
I remember being in the first level, whatever it's called, and you're on the high wires, and there's those wispy things flying by, and you got to tightrope walk and jump from wire to wire with flood. And I remember being so mad doing that because I was falling off, and the wind things were blowing me off, and getting back up there was a nightmare. And I was like,
yeah, I was trying to get to the top of this tower that had like a giant piranha plant.
His name is Petey.
Petey Piranha. I'm trying to get to Petey Piranha, and like even that was like giving me trouble.
Yes,
like, trying to make those jumps.
That's the level with the tightropes. The first level, yeah.
Oh, okay. That is the same level.
They're up above him. I think you got to take care of Petey first, and then that stuff comes in. Okay. But then there's wispy things up there. Like there's like wind breezes that come by and knock you off the tightropes. And
knowing me, if I had never played that game and tried to play it today, I probably would be do Michaels about it, like real pissed off about it. But yeah, for me, it's a nostalgic one. I remember almost every day with my GameCube for some reason. I don't know why. I remember picking it up at midnight. I remember everything about it, and that was just one of those games that really spoke to me and has stuck with me all these years. But yeah, like looking back, it does need some revamping for at least the controls.
Yep. Are you gonna stick with it?
Yeah, I'll play it for I don't know, at least a little while longer.
Well, I'm gonna say 2 words.
Boju.
Pachinko machine.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Shine Get.
Shine Get, that's right.
Yeah, how weird is that? Why does it even do that?
Shine Get.
That still kind of rubs me the wrong way. That they're called shines.
Well, that they're called shines?
Yeah.
It bothers you?
Yeah, I always hated that. I wanted them to be stars.
It's not a noun.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It obviously doesn't matter. It's the same thing, but like, and as you get more shines, the island get like the sun like shines on the island more, which is kind of cool. And you need like sunglasses and stuff, so you can run around as Mario with sunglasses, which is cool.
Also introduced one of my least favorite Mario characters, Bowser Jr.
Boju,
do not like Bowser Jr. Never liked him. Never liked him.
Now, if they had a Bowser Jr.
Now we're talking.
Now
Wowzer
we're
Jr.
talking. Yeah.
Wowzer Jr.
Wowzer Senior. Play anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, Do, you're up.
Cuckoo. I played some of The Witcher 3. I managed to get the new outfit and the diagrams for the mastercrafted outfit. I just need to level up. I know I said this last week that I need to level up more, but yeah, now I need to level up even more to get the superior mastercrafted armor set. And I mean, who am I kidding? This is my 5th time through this stupid game, and I'm doing it just to get outfits. So whatever. Anyone could have predicted this. Don't think you won some bingo card because you predicted that Deux was going to play Witcher 3 again in January. But there's really nothing to say. There's nothing to say about it. I don't even have another game to like shoehorn in as if I tried to play something else. We didn't even play Fortnite this week with the boys. I've got nothing else. I didn't even play Inscription as like a time waster. I've been doing nothing but Witcher 3, and I'm ashamed. So goodbye, everybody.
I mean, we're not judging you.
You're not. I'm judging myself, but
but new outfits.
There's gonna be. You know what's funny? I think about Waylon Smithers in that Simpsons episode with the Malibu Stacy
right.
every single time I turn on the game, because I'm like, all right, why am I doing this mission for the 5th time? Oh, because it's going to get me experience so that I can level up, so that I can get this. Yeah, exactly. So because it got a new hat. Get mine. Gimme. So,
this is very related to a question later, by the way. Very, very related.
Well, ask me now.
No, it's a reader question, a
okay.
listener question. So that's all you played.
That's all I did. Thanks for everything, RMC. Maybe tell us what you played.
Oh, I'd be happy to. I only played 2 things this week. I did play Fortnite. I should do this. I'm a little chilled too.
I just did all of a sudden.
My mom has continued to send me clips of victories in Fortnite when we win, and I'm playing with her. It's me, her, and my cousins. And I had what is probably my favorite, best victory ever this week. So, you already know I love the hammer. They finally brought back the Deku Smash. The Deku Smash is from My Hero Academia. It's Deku's move. It's like you jump up in the air and you scream like Deku, and then you throw out like an orb, and when it hits the ground, it makes a huge explosion. Kills anybody
I understand.
that's in there instantly. So I had a hammer, I had Deku Smash, and I had some long distance gun. It was 4-on-2. We were the 4. Now normally you'd be like 4-on-2. That's you're gonna destroy them. These 2 people were insane. They were Fortnite sweaties to the max. As soon as we were up against them, I was like, I audibly said, we have no chance. We are not winning. So I was halfway across the circle. This is the final circle, so very small. And it was me by myself because I'm trying to get distance from these guys to snipe them because I'm like, up close, we got no shot. The rest of my family is over in the mix. My mom gets killed. My one cousin, I don't know where he is.
Fatality.
His daughter is in the mix with them. She gets killed.
Fatality.
This is great. She's in the water, and I'm like, I can go and try and revive her, but I know they're going to see me probably because it's a very small circle. But I'm like, she's under a dock. I could swim under there. Maybe they won't see me. So I go. I'm healing her. She gets 2/3 healed. They take a shot and they hit me. And I'm like, oh, they see me. They know where I am. I'm getting lit up like crazy. I'm not going to survive this. There's no chance. I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm in the water. They jump in the water to come over and shotgun me in the head. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I had the Deku Smash. And I was like, if I could just use this. And I swam out a little bit into the water as they're shooting me. And I pulled Deku Smash. And I'm like, they can kill you in the air while you're still doing it because you got to jump up and scream. I'm like, this is my Hail Mary. I use the Deku Smash. I go up. I scream. I have 2 health left as I throw out the Deku Smash.
Finish him.
I killed them both and we win. I should not have won. It was really a last-ditch effort, and I won. And my mom has a horrible view of the action, but also a great view of the action because she was on the outside, like above, but she can see my silhouette of me doing that kill. I'm going to save this video and send it to the Discord.
Now
And
you are a real hero.
show in photos. Yes. Okay. So I'll send it in Discord right now so you Discord people can see, and then I'll show it to you people at the table. So it's a 29-second clip. Let's see. Oh, it's going to send. And all you'll be able to see is me as a silhouette, but you'll get what's going on. And now at the table, I will show you guys. Here you go. Again, this is just the perspective of my mom. You will not see me, but you will see a silhouette of me winning.
What skin is your mom using?
It's one of it's just some random one she bought that she liked. It's amazing.
That is
The
awesome.
silhouette coming up out of the air is great. One of my finest moments in Fortnite ever. She sent other clips, but I'm not gonna.
That's saying something.
I'm not gonna pester you guys with them. So I played Fortnite. Love Fortnite. The Hammer, Deku Smash back. Loving it. Having a grand old time. Play all the time. Like a level 1. I don't know. It probably says in that clip what I am. Level 120 something.
I've got that great one of
123
Lube that I'll have to put on YouTube.
Yes. I forgot about
that one's really awesome. It was Lube. Our entire team got killed except for Captain Lube. He's the last one left. He's up on this cliff. There's two bad guys kind of below him. And between there's a cliff that he's standing on and then a far cliff. And there's like a zip line crossing them.
Amazing.
And he gets on this zip line and he's like going back and forth on the zip line, just back and forth with a rocket launcher, shooting rockets at these guys down below, switching to a different gun, shooting back to a grenade. It was like it was amazing.
It was, and it's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen in Fortnite. Far better than anything I've done easily. And it's I think I yelled at you, I was like, "You can record that. You got to record that."
It was so good, and because I was dead, luckily I was like watching Lube from over his shoulder, so I've got a perfect view of it. But it was so impressive because if he had a different loadout, he wouldn't have been able to win.
He had a loadout, one that was perfect for it, the rocket launcher.
And grenades. He was throwing grenades from up there.
The grenades I would have never used because I'm like, the chance of hitting someone with a grenade like
exactly.
that.
And he's on this zip line above them, tossing grenades, shooting rockets, shooting. It was unbelievable.
I can't stress, and probably it's the same. We can't stress enough. Every throw and shot he took was about as perfect as you could hope for.
It was like they were trying to catch the grenades. It was almost like, let's run over where the grenade's about to fall.
I mean, granted, it was a very small circle. They didn't have a lot of room to run, and it's death from above. But for Lube to do the shots, line them up the way he did, and maneuver back and forth on the zip line as he's doing it, it's phenomenal.
I love playing with Captain Lube because he's fun. He takes it serious without making it not fun, you know what I mean? But he does take it serious where you, me, and our third friend will be like dancing in a bush, and he'll be like, guys, I'm getting shot at, and we'll like run out of the bush to come help him, and he'll be like, oh yeah, no one was there, and it was like, you just said that to get us to stop dancing. Like we were dancing, there was no bad guys here.
I feel like in recent months, or maybe even the last year, I don't want to say lightened up because he was never so serious that he was mad, but he's gotten more playful.
Definitely.
Because when it first started out, we're talking about like movies we've seen and other stupid crap, and he'll be like, "I need help."
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Storvis Corbin. Good to see you.
Really funny.
So yes. Oh yeah, and I've been playing with my sister as well. She just texted me, which reminds me, she's been more in the mix with Fortnite too. She texted me and she says, "My favorite vegan jerky flavor so far is Carolina BBQ." Okay.
What do they make vegan jerky out of?
Nintendo. I'm doing the podcast right now. I told everyone your favorite jerky, and I told them we're playing Fortnite together. Is that the jerky I had given you? Is that a different flavor? And her response may be in a voice note on the podcast. So I played that, and the only other thing I played is more Xenoblade Chronicles. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Sorry. I am 17 hours in now. So again, I'll be playing
Numbers.
to come. So here's where I'm at for those who've played. I'm I don't know, what is it, Colony 4 with I think it's 4. That could be wrong. It's with what's her name? Silvercoat Ethel. Is that her name? I know her name's Ethel, but I think she's called Silvercoat Ethel.
There's a character in this game named Ethel.
Well, it's called Ethel. I thought was a funny name, yeah. But everybody's got funny names, you know.
Like that's like an elderly woman's name.
I also thought that. Yes, there's like Mio and Tyon,
Gertrude.
So Ethel's pretty normal compared to everybody else, actually.
Gretchen.
Except what's the main character's name is Noah, so that's a normal name. Same brand, different flavor. Tell everybody. Oh, my sister, who is going to appear on the podcast sometime in the near future, says Inscription slaps. She wants to talk about Inscription with you, on the podcast.
That sounds lovely.
So I am like in a desert style area, and I have beaten what I would say is one of the first main bosses. I believe it to be. So I'm very proud of myself. And what an epic fight, man. It's multifaceted, and it also leads to a big story revelation too, which is really cool. But, whoo, boy, if you might remember, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 won the GoNintendo Award for Best Soundtrack in 2022. And the music,
I got music
in the context of the gameplay, man, I mean, for a weeb like me, the moment that happens in this battle, where like two characters find out they can do something together, and the intensity of the fight and the thing that you're doing and the way the music crescendos with it. Oh, man.
Perhaps
So
that was
amazing.
the most important part.
It was an awesome moment. Like that moment in particular really made me feel something. I was like, this feels amazing. I just felt like a badass, and the music was so energetic and really heightened the experience. But boy, this game's doing it for me. Without getting into specifics, and I'm not looking for sympathy or anything like that, I'm just saying this week has been very tough for me mentally, and playing Xenoblade has been great for just like zoning out and sinking into another world and being a distraction. And it's just been so wonderful. And I made a note because, as I said, there's funny things that are said all the time in this game. Like I said last week, the guy that says a rare doodah, which we did get confirmation on. Apparently, UK people do call things doodahs. So
DD.
There you go.
Mega doo-doo.
I had some moments that I've been wanting to talk about in the game that I wrote down, because some of them are said and they don't sound. You know, it's like Streets of Rage or Street Fighter. When characters say something, you're like, what the hell are they saying? So in this game, there's something called Phantom Slash, but your character's saying it when like 8 other characters are yelling things, and the enemy's talking, and there's music and explosions going on. So to me, I had to read what he was saying to know what he was saying, because to me it sounded like bathtub slash every time, and I'm like, I know it's not bathtub slash, but that's what it sounds like. So he's saying Phantom Slash. He also says something else slash, and I don't know what he's saying. I forgot to look at what he was saying. To me, it sounds like Hufflepuff slash, and I know that's not what he's saying. Also, this is really funny. So the part of the game I'm in is a huge like canyon, like desert canyon, huge rocks, huge open space for you to go around. Wow. And you're fighting all kinds of enemies. Some of them are very big, but some of them are really small. It's like, let's call it like a little bunny or like a little squirrel rat or something, like very tiny. And whenever you take out your sword to go fight, your character usually says something, and he keeps saying, I don't want to do this, but you're in my way. And I'm like, he's not in your way. You can there's so much space here. You can walk around this guy. It's just so funny that there's giant monsters, and you walk up to a tiny rabbit, and Noah's like, I don't want to do this, but you're in my way. Just the juxtaposition of what's going on, I find funny every time. The characters, listen, I love the story, and the characters are great, and I'm really intrigued to see where things are going. And it is emotional. It makes me think about things in life, but there are funny moments like that they don't take me out of it at all. I just really enjoy those moments. So I'm greatly enjoying my time with this game, and I know I'm really enjoying it because I know I have a long way to go, and all I keep thinking is, oh boy, I hope this doesn't end soon, even though I know it's not going to end soon. So, Burn and Cheese, hello. They say I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3 since launch and I still haven't finished. I'm taking my time. Well, because I'm paranoid. You know, I'm probably fighting more than I need to just to make sure I'm at appropriate levels. Hi, Sneaker Hacks. Good to see you. But yeah, I imagine I'll probably get 60 to 80 hours out of this. Sneaker Hack says they're back from a long Pokemon Go walk. Well, we Do and I did our long Pikmin Bloom walks today, so we're right with you.
I'm picturing him on that bike with like 20 phones lined up on the, you know, where he can just go around and do Pokemon Go for other people's phones.
Bunnet alternate Liz says, yes, Bunnets, you're right, Bunnets. Also I thought about that too. Ice Dilbert says, careful, dude doesn't like big kaiju monsters, big kaiju or monsters. Thank
you, Ice Dilbert. Someone's thinking about
two characters in this game, or multiple pairs of two characters in this game, can combine into it's not a kaiju. It's like
it might as well be.
No. Hold on. It's not at all, because the thing you combine into is
you combine into it and you get smaller.
No,
you get bigger.
But you get like
kaiju style.
You get like 10 feet tall. Like you're not like hugely bigger than a person. Like you're a person and a half. Like a kaiju is like, you know, city scale.
Yeah. I agree.
Are there rules on like how
rules?
How large you need to be considered a kaiju?
It's gotta be like the size of a house at least for a kaiju.
I'm fed up with this world.
And I'd say one house. Like Clifford is not a kaiju. He's too small to be a kaiju.
Clifford, a kaiju. You know, I was thinking kaijus are only evil, but maybe not. Maybe
they don't have to be evil at all. No,
I guess Godzilla's not always evil, right? Sometimes he fights Mothra.
And like Ultraman like considered kaiju?
He's kaiju, but he's good.
Sure, why not?
But he's also very large.
He is very large. But yeah, like Clifford is not big enough to be a kaiju. You'd just be like, look at the size of that dog.
I never
Man,
yeah, exactly,
like
Malakala. Exactly, Malakala. Yao Ming is not a kaiju, and Yao Ming is very tall. He's almost as tall as these. They're called, what are they called? Ouroboros in the game. So yeah, listen, does Clifford annoy you with his size?
No.
Yeah. So exactly.
No, so he's not big enough to be a kaiju because he doesn't annoy me, is what you're saying?
Well, I wouldn't call him. He's not big enough to be a kaiju.
Okay.
You got to be bigger than that.
Oh god.
And he's pretty big.
I don't know why that's really funny. This is interesting.
How big to be a kaiju? Let's see what yeah, I know I typed it wrong, Google, but come on. A typical kaiju is usually at least over 65 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
How tall is Clifford? Clifford is 25 feet. Rest my case. Scientifically proven.
All right.
Scientifically proven. Basically, the whole point of this story, Clifford is a bitch. That's what we got.
Wow.
So there you go. Clifford, the big red bitch.
I don't know. Here, according to this movie poster, he's one of two of the mightiest monsters of all time. Clifford.
What movie poster is that?
It's in the Discord.
Oh.
I don't think it's real. I mean, unless there was a Japanese monster called Clifford.
Oh, yes, this is not Clifford versus Godzilla. That's great. That's great. Yeah, 25 feet tall. So that is not a kaiju. You need to be 65 feet. I am sorry. So like, you know, obviously Neon Genesis Evangelion, everything in that is kaiju. You know,
yeah, it's kaiju, all right.
Pacific Rim, all kaiju in that. Those suckers are big. Those suckers are big. All right, there's your what we played. Everybody.
See that sucker? 0 to 60 in 4 points. Something.
Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
goninpod@gmail.com. They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. Anastasia Beaverhausen has a question. And they say, I was thinking about the story where RMC's dad got beat up by some ladies with their purses when he got attacked by bees. Yes. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, that is true. My dad used to be a telephone man. He was in the bucket truck one day up at the top of a telephone pole. He opened the box up there. There's a bee's nest in there. The bees swarmed him immediately, and he was stuck in the bucket lift. So he had to take the bucket lift down.
Like real slow while
Yes.
he's being like,
As the bees are attacking him. It got so unbearable that when the bucket got close enough to the top of the truck, he jumped out because he couldn't wait anymore.
God.
Jumped down to the ground, and he was still being stung by bees. And 2 women saw him and beat him with their purses to get the bees off. So
they didn't know, the women until later didn't know bees were.
He's a weird guy, so don't blame him. Yeah, my dad came home from work. He had almost 100 bee stings.
Really?
Yeah, and he
Holy
was like,
cow.
He's not allergic, but just
Thank
that
God,
many bee stings was so much. He went to the doctor and they took care of him, but he came home and he was like no energy, like dead. I've never seen
without his glasses.
Even to this day, I've never seen my dad like that. He was like a puddle on the floor, like gone. It was rough. But anyway, there's your story. There's your backstory for this question.
That's funny what Kyle Lanquin said. Very British.
Kyle Lanquin says, beat off by 2 women. That's right.
Oh, no.
Anastasia Beaver hasn't goes on to say, my question is, if you saw someone being swarmed by bees, what would be the most effective item to fill your purse with to ensure maximum damage to the bees, but minimum damage to the human being? And then they say, important question, 4 exclamation marks. Maximum damage to the bees, minimum damage to the person. What is bad for bees? That's in the purse.
It would have to be something kind of lightweight.
Lightweight, sticky, maybe sticky in some way, so it attaches the bees, but doesn't hurt the person.
But then it also might get stuck to the person.
It could, but the person will be wearing clothing, so they should be okay as long as you're hitting them in the clothing. I'm just trying to think. Like, there's no kryptonite for like smoke pellets. Bees don't like smoke.
Yeah, there you go. Like swatting bees, especially like a large number of bees, isn't very effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Water, that's not a bad one. A purse full of water, yeah.
But
Wouldn't
still,
hurt the
you're not going
person.
to get it all.
Yeah.
There's no way. It depends how.
Like bees don't like fire, but you can't hit a person with fire. Some sort of maybe you could. Yeah, I think it's just got to be something that physically gets the bee. Like, I just keep going back to something sticky because the bees would stick to it and it wouldn't hurt the person.
I kind of like the smoke idea. Just
smoke,
have some smoke bombs in your purse.
Yeah, just something smoking in your purse and hitting them with the purse.
Swing it around.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need to hit the person. You could swing your purse around with it smoking, and that would probably do it. So there's your.
This one's for the boys.
We're settling on smoke. We also have a Patreon question. Deux, did you know that you could join Patreon
For $1.
for $1, as Billy says? And as you may remember, I said your Smithers comment would be related. Joshua on Patreon says, excuse me, podcast crew. On the Itchy and Scratchy CD-ROM, is there a way to get out of the dungeon without using the wizard's key? One of my favorite things about the podcast are the random Simpsons quotes that happen from time to time. What are some of your favorite Simpsons quotes? This could be a show in and of itself.
It really could be. I mean,
so many Simpsons quotes have worked their way into our daily lives that I have legit forgot some of them are from the Simpsons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Every day I probably say something.
Yeah, without even like thinking about it. It's like it's all like instinct at this point.
When we say like Urkel, that's from the Simpsons. We've said that on the podcast.
Yeah,
like Urkel.
Like Urkel.
All the time.
So many that obviously we're having trouble thinking of them right now. I don't say it too often, but I love it.
Probably
I like saying
glasses.
Yeah,
I think we
I like
just said that
saying
one earlier.
I sleep in a big bed with my wife.
Yeah.
If you should die before you
Yeah, I just said that this week. I just said that.
Hello, Joe.
Lisa needs braces,
Lisa needs
dental
braces.
plan.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's all good.
Man,
it was the best of times.
So
was the blurst
too.
of times.
Lube says, "I believe you."
Yes,
every time I'm like telling some BS story and like just to like get a rise out of RMC, like Lube will be like, "I believe you."
You know what one we say a lot? No, I don't think we'll be doing that.
I say that all the time. No, I don't think I'll be telling them that.
Man. I wish I could think of more off the top of my head, but we just honestly we say them so often. God, why are we all struggling to think of them?
I mean, I say that I says to Mabel, I says
Yeah.
all the time. I don't even know what that means, and it's just so great.
Well, that's just loverly.
Oh God, you mean it's not McGaggy's birthday?
I say to my mom
I mean,
pretty
it's
often.
not me Noggin, it's me Peepus.
Yes,
just
yes, I
loverly.
do say that part a lot. I say to my mom pretty often, "Hello, mother dear," for when Bart's flying the kite. Hello, mother
Really?
dear. Yes, I
That's
say that.
great.
I say that a lot. Big Book of British Smiles. I say.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to think of the ones that I forgot were from The Simpsons. That
we,
I say.
we were just talking about bees. The bee bit my bottom. Now
Bee
my
bit my
bottom's
bottom,
big.
now
My bottom's big.
See, I say that one so much that Mom Brain, who's not very well versed in The Simpsons, can finish that line because I say it so much.
Nice.
Coming Eudora, say that
God,
from
that's
Jay
so
Sherman.
great. Yeah, that Jay Sherman episode's so good.
Yeah, there's just a ton.
Oh my God, it's just a little airborne. It's still good. It's still good. That's a good one, Ratsuza.
I learned what gazpacho was from The Simpsons. I
Yeah,
never knew what
from that
gazpacho.
episode.
I never even heard of it.
Ice
Go back to
cold.
Russia.
When I say hooray, I say it like the guy from The Simpsons. Hooray!
Oh,
The guy parking the car.
Yeah. It's like $20 per axle or something. Woohoo! Hooray! Put it in H.
Put it in H.
Oh, that's
right.
good.
Yeah, put it in
That's
H.
good.
Is so good.
Oh, when I say this a lot, especially when we're moving things, if I'm moving something from room to room or picking something up and putting it somewhere for storage, I always say turn it topwise. I love when they're yelling at Marge and they're yelling turn it topwise.
That is so
Who's saying
good.
it, Bart? Where he's like topwise.
Well, it's funny because they're all yelling at him at once. She's like one at a time, and then he comes out with topwise, and it's like already. It's like all right. Yeah.
I just thought of another one that Deux usually says a lot. The all-ID aller.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
say
say
that
that a lot,
all
yeah.
the time.
No, you know what we all say a lot? I'll be back in a jiffy. Say that one a lot. Oh man, there's tons.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, I mean, Simpsons for all of us at the podcast has been not so much anymore, but it was a huge part of our life and like formative for our humor in a huge way.
Absolutely.
In the only way,
Very
Yeah, like
meaningful way. I feel so sad because The Simpsons, being what it is now,
For
that
like the past 20
legacy
years.
has so far outshined the era of The Simpsons where it was legit, many would agree, the funniest thing on TV, hands down. Like seasons 2 through 7, 8.
Yeah, around there.
Some of the funniest stuff I have ever seen. Laugh out loud, crying, funny, and stays funny for years to come. Like if you only know The Simpsons now, you really, if you're willing, you really owe it to yourself to go back and watch those seasons because
it's
some of the funniest stuff I've ever heard.
I still feel like this show betrayed me.
Yeah.
I'm still very bitter about how bad it got.
I mean, to put things in perspective, the team that was writing those episodes have gone on to do amazing things in comedies in and of them, in and of their own. Yeah. Everybody knows Conan, but there's so many others that like have moved on to do really, really, really funny things on their own outside of The Simpsons. So it's that humor. There's no escaping that. That is our humor, for better or worse, for the rest of our lives. We will always quote it. We will always find that kind of stuff funny. Like it's not that it's just funny. Like it was smart funny. And sometimes it was smart because of how stupid it was.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
But it's written well, and it's not it's wordplay and visual gags and just everything all mixed into one. Fantastic. Like so much great stuff in there. But yes, to say a favorite Simpsons quote, I think would be impossible.
Yeah,
there are too many.
I really don't know if I can have a favorite.
Iron Helps Us Play. Just said that one this week.
God, they're all so good. Jermis Iron. Every time I see Jeremy Irons, I say Jermis Iron.
Here's a ball. Perhaps you'd like to bounce.
I mean, and I could be alone and say it to myself, and I won't ever be like, "That's a funny Simpsons joke." It's just like something dumb that comes to my brain that I say, and then I forget I said it. It's just always there.
Yeah, we're gonna be like senile and
do you come with the car?
Oh, yeah. This exhibit is closed.
Calculash. Crab juice.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could, like I said, we
Oh my
really
God.
could go on.
Homer
forever.
Simpson, the drunken gambler. Yes, and who might you be?
Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo.
Joey Jojo. Hey, it's Joey Jojo. I mean, that's so good. So good.
He brings us love. Break his
And
legs.
like in those years, especially all the celebrity voices they had too. Cause like since then it's gotten to the point where like you see them and it's like, there's nothing really funny about, they don't write them funny into the show. It's just like, oh, Ricky Gervais is in a Simpsons episode. Who cares? But like back in the day, it's like Aerosmith is in it and they write funny stuff for Aerosmith to say.
Back then it was a surprise. Like commercials weren't like Lady Gaga on this week's Simpsons. It was like, you could have an episode with like 5 different celebrities in it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, Dustin Hoffman was in it and he wasn't even credited as
his voice.
Dustin
Michael
Hoffman.
Jackson, same thing.
And that Dustin Hoffman episode is one of my favorites.
It's one of
not
the
even
best,
just because it's really funny. It's a fantastic
from a
episode in
heartfelt,
general. Yeah,
like that's one of the first episodes where you saw that the Simpsons could be like an actual emotionally driven show as well.
That one where Homer meets his mom. The end of that episode, with Homer sitting on the car. It's like when literally the credits are playing. Homer sitting on the car, looking up at the stars with the music playing.
And like the
I will bawl my eyes out every time. I cannot make it past that. It's funny. My sister and I were talking to my parents because we always talk about how we cry at TV shows and movies. My sister and I, and my parents don't. They just don't. Not that ever. They may sometimes, but we are very emotional. And I was like, cartoons, regular movies, live action, all cry. And my sister was like, yeah, I'm the same. And my mom was like, what cartoons make you cry? And I was like, well, I've seen tons of anime that makes me cry. But I was like, The Simpsons. She's like, what'd you cry at The Simpsons? And I said, that moment. My sister was like, yeah. And she's like, one of the saddest moments I've ever seen is from a cartoon. And I was like, it's that Futurama episode, isn't it?
With the dog.
With the dog. And I was like, yep, it is. And my mom was like, what makes it so sad? And my sister and I were just trying to explain it. And we both were crying while we were explaining it. We were like, it's the saddest thing we've ever seen. And then my mom was like, can you put on a clip? And we were like, we don't want to.
Yeah, it's too much. That's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, Grave of the Fireflies is sadder, but like
that
dog is, forget it. I hate
Simpsons and Futurama, when it comes to sad moments, they're heartbreaking sad moments, but there's a twinge of like they're sad because they're happy. Like the dog thing is sad because the dog loved him so much, and Homer loves his mom so much. But Grave of the Fireflies is devastating sad, where it's like, this is horrendous and this is real life. Like this is that's different kind of sad.
It's a whole different thing.
Oh, speaking of Futurama, real quick, I was
the show that won't die. That's funny. The show's come back so many times and it's still good every time though. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, I haven't really seen any of the new seasons, but anyway, I was gonna say I was at a friend's house last week, and my friends they have a kid together, and they're both like big Futurama fans, and they their kid's middle name was Rodriguez because of this this one joke in Futurama about Bender's full name being Bender Bending Rodriguez.
Yes,
that's amazing.
I'm not as well. I've seen all of Futurama. I'm not as well versed in it because I haven't repeatedly watched it that many times because The Simpsons was dependable. Not only was it on the same time every week, but they would drive repeats into the ground. Like it was
you could
every
watch
day.
It. Yeah, you could watch it all the time.
Futurama was hard to find on repeats when it was originally airing, and it was hard to find in its regular time slot because Fox would usually bump it for sports or something. So it didn't get as many repeat viewings for me. It's like The Critic. The Critic I repeatedly watched because there's so few seasons and they were on for a short amount of time all the time.
Yeah, they played it a lot.
So it's easier. Like
I had a big show on ABC for about a week.
I could quote the Critic just like I could quote The Simpsons, and I still do it with Mom Brain all the time too. I'm like the center of attention quote that I say all the time.
Oh, yeah.
The center of attention.
Buy my book.
Buy my book. I say all the time.
Nilknarf.
You talk too much, talking cat. Nilknarf. Yeah. I do believe my
Penguins
foot
can't
is
fly.
as big as his head. Yeah, I said all those same kind of thing. If you like The Simpsons,
What is it, chicken or fish?
If you like The Simpsons, but you never seen The Critic, go watch The Critic. It's the same thing. It's the same writers.
It
pretty
really
much.
is great. And then
Same
John,
humor.
and John Lovitz is just knocks it
Oh,
out of
John
the
Lovitz
park.
kills it in that show. Kills it.
Yeah, he's
and
perfect.
Duke, whatever that guy's name is, perfect.
Duke,
He's
yes.
great too.
All hail Duke.
So funny.
Duke is
Pigeons
life.
just like the sound of my.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Oh, I forget
And his
exactly what it is.
and
It's
his
called
Australian buddy too is
Yep,
great.
he's great. I'm gonna give it a sitcom. It's called "Shove It, Kiss Off, You Smell," whatever that sound box is. I forget.
Which relates to another Simpsons quote that we always do.
Shut up, kiss my butt, go to hell, go to hell. Once again, great gift, Dad.
We do the name. We do the name thing from The Simpsons all the time, where it's like where you're trying to say somebody's name without saying it. Where it's like, I don't remember what the name is in The Simpsons, but you say the first letter and then this. You know what I'm getting at. Why am I describing this so terribly? Lisa S.
Oh, Lisa S. Wait, no, that's too obvious. L. Simpson.
We also do the oh crap thing. Oh crap.
Oh crap. Yeah. Yeah.
I shouldn't have said
crap.
that secret.
I
shouldn't have said it was a secret.
Certainly shouldn't have said it was illegal.
Yeah.
This is why
today.
This
I
is
say that all the time.
This is obviously why we can't talk about The Simpsons.
Yeah,
We'll go on.
we
for-
need
Well,
like
there's one more.
another
Somebody
show.
said something that I say all the time in it. They said, "Son of a gun!" It was here. Me fail English. That's impossible, which I say all
Yeah.
the time. But that made me think of the other thing I say, where he goes, "Nothing can possibly go wrong,"
Yep.
and I say possibly so much that the words have lost all meaning, and it's just like the dumbest joke. It's not even that funny of a joke. He just says possibly
Yep.
wrong, and it's funny.
That's
We all
the
say-
first thing
we-
that's ever gone wrong.
we all will make the Gabby Hayes reference or Rory
yes.
Calhoun reference.
Yes. What's funny? I was listening to a podcast the other day, and who was being interviewed? I think Spielberg was being interviewed about the Fablemans or whatever, and they were talking about whatever. And like somebody with the guy interviewing him like brought up Gabby Hayes, and even Spielberg was like, "No one's gonna know who Gabby Hayes is." Like, what?
We will.
But like, I only
From The Simpsons.
know him
yeah.
from The Simpsons, from literally that one reference. And I remember like probably 5 years ago now, we were like, who the heck is
Yeah,
Gabby Hayes? And we like looked him
yeah.
up and we were like, we would have never known this.
Yeah, that's
Garbo's coming to town.
yeah. Like some of the references are just so like antiquated. Like
I learned them from The Simpsons. Yeah.
Yeah, even for us back
Rory
in the day,
Calhoun,
we
like I
didn't-
said.
Yeah, like a bunch of Rory Calhoun.
Standing around like a bunch of standing on their hind legs like a bunch of Rory Calhoun.
or like when Krusty's doing his like telethon and he's he's gonna do the little stinkers gag.
Yes.
And like there's like references to like vaudeville and stuff. It's like
Say,
all over the place.
you stole my bit all the time. You
Oh
stole my bit.
yeah, the little rascals.
We gotta stop. We gotta.
Yeah, we gotta stop.
The alfalfa was just an orphan owned by the studio.
Man, oh man.
Just like all that.
And keep in mind, all the stuff we're saying is from that 2 to season 8
Yeah, like,
time frame.
My
for the most
favorite
part.
Aggie. I don't
Yeah.
even know what my favorite Aggie is, but I know it has something to do with marbles, and I say it all the time.
Shake harder, boy.
Oh my god.
There you go, guys. That's
Oh, boy.
The Simpsons is a part of our DNA more than any other show, I would argue.
I'm sure they
easily.
regret asking. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because we don't got music. So
Oh, that's right.
Oh no.
No music.
I had this queued up.
Well,
and
I mean,
everything.
let's keep talking about the Simpsons. Then.
We
that.
can't. We can't. But sorry to put you on the spot, Do you have a view or a rumor?
Oh no, I forgot to have something come across my desk because I was doing so many things.
I forgot to have something come across my desk.
Yeah. Holy cow! What did we talk about this week? Because usually my
Oh, that
rumors
doesn't
are
matter.
all-
It's about
It doesn't
it's about
matter.
whatever comes across
Yeah,
your
it doesn't
desk.
matter. It doesn't matter at all. So one thing that we learned today. So there's a rumor there's going to be a new Simpsons game coming out. It's only seasons 2 through 7 based on, and it's going to be like Jeopardy, where they have like quotes from the show and you got to fill in the quotes, and we're going to be the best 3 at it.
And the only name you can put in is Thrill Ho.
Nice. Yeah, that brings it back. That makes sense.
There you go. Makes sense. The name of the game is Lee Carvello's Putting Challenge. You have
Do you-
selected.
No. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Oh yeah, buy me Bone Storm or go
Buy
to
me
hell.
Bone Storm or
That's
go to
something the loop says a lot.
Capiche? Everything but capiche.
Yeah. Now that is so funny. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Let's say some gangsta is dissing your fly girl. You just give him one of these.
Man, what's the name of that guy on YouTube? He hasn't done anything in forever. The guy who did the
Dank
Simpson-
Mouse. Is that what you're talking about?
yes.
Dank Mouse.
Oh yes, he does all
amazing.
those great those
Look him up on
Simpsons
YouTube.
songs. They're all great.
All right, everybody. Well, the after show, I'm guessing we'll talk more about Simpsons, but there was other things I wanted to talk about too, so we'll get to all that.
Like, remember when I took that home winemaker's course and I forgot how to drive?
The kids to the neighbors, I'm coming back loaded.
And when I asked if he would ever be back, the guy said he didn't know.
It's like the time I could have met Mr. T at the mall. The fact that he's crying when he's telling that story. Too.
All right, everybody, stick around for the after show if you want to hear us wax poetic about this stuff more. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Ooh, after show. Yeah, Critic Simpsons. Very important to who we are, our critic, especially for me. But
Can you stream the Critic anywhere?
let's find out together.
I mean,
I want to say it's on one of those free things,
oh,
like
freebie.
Do I have Tubi?
Nice.
Oh, hold on. I got to do it on the app because now if you don't do it
Do
on
I
the
have
app,
Tubi?
it's like get the app.
I think the last time I watched it was on like YouTube or something.
I actually sat down not that long ago with the box set that I have. The Critic. It stinks. You can watch it for free on Crackle. You can watch it for free on Philo.
It's called McBain. Let's get funny.
You suck, McBain.
I'm an erotic nerd who likes to sleep with little girls. Hey, that really sucked.
The film is me in front of a brick wall for an hour and a half. It cost $80 million. How do you sleep at night? On a bed of money with many beautiful ladies.
Yeah. You know what? I should be in the Discord. You know what? Here's a question I have for you guys for the after show. The Simpsons is hugely influential for us. Why am I a puppet? Holy moly!
Not quite a mop and not quite a
There you go.
puppet, but oh man.
Red Sousa says the
So
Critic
to
is
answer your question, I
free
don't know.
on YouTube. William Troy says Crackle. Oh, this knife goes in, guts come out. Yep. My dingling, I used to sing that all the time. Here's my question to you guys. Simpsons is hugely influential to us. What is something for you guys that is hugely influential TV show wise? I'd love to know. Do you have a Simpsons? Do you have something that you quote all the time that's a movie or a TV show?
Probably like The Office or something.
Do people quote The Office?
They must.
Oh,
right?
all the time. Are you
Yeah?
kidding me? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The
I know
Office-
it's very popular. I just don't know
The
it's very
Office is
quotable.
very quotable. Michael
Okay.
Scott is.
MST3K and Kids in the Hall. You know, I do quote
Yeah.
Kids in the Hall. I'm crushing your head.
I'm crushing your head.
I do the never put salt in your eyes all the time.
Always put salt in your eyes.
all the time. The chicken lady. I always do the chicken lady from Kids in the Hall. That's a good one. Yeah.
There's the old man who wants sausages.
Oh, wait. Tanuki Tony, will it be your first time watching The Critic? Tanuki Tony says, I just saved a Critic to my watch on later on YouTube. Can't wait to watch. Homestar Runner. That's one that I quote. Yeah, that I definitely had my time at Homestar Runner.
My sister used to
Strong
quote,
Bad.
Used to quote Homestar a lot.
I just love the way Homestar sounds, so I love that. But I quote Strong Bad more.
Your fans are the best, man. Like seriously, they got to be
Oh
at
my
least
God.
15 years younger than us, at least, and like they're willing to try this stuff, which at the time we didn't understand any of the references.
Yeah.
So I gotta hand it to these fans.
Dre Gamer says Ali G stuff. Tanuki Tony, please keep us informed about what you think of The Critic. I mean, if you like The Simpsons, if you are familiar with that era of The Simpsons, then you're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck. It might be a little tough. No, you'll be fine. Jay Sherman is a movie critic on the show, so a lot of the references to movies are from that era of movies. But
Yeah, like the
it's famous
mid-90s.
movies like Jurassic Park and Misery.
You should
and-
mostly get the movie references that you'd think.
I mean, there's some like I don't know, they had like a movie that was called like Children of a Lesser Godzilla, which
Yes.
it's a Godzilla movie, but it's also a reference to the movie Children of a Lesser God, which some people might not remember.
They also
It's
do
deaf people or something.
they also do jokes about movies that aren't spoofs of other movies. Like they just do some of their own original movies. Like Jay's talking about some movie he loves. It's some like old lady who's dying and she gives her daughter her tea cozy.
That's right.
And Jay's like, so
I know it's fallen into disrepair, but you can make it grand again.
so of course Jay loves it because it's like a
It's just a
hoity-toity
ratty old tea
movie.
cozy.
So Jay goes, run, don't mosey to the tea cozy. And I think right after he says that, you see like the ratings going down.
and Duke's all like, I know we're on the air. What's the joke?
Yeah. Oh man. The movie, but yeah, there should be movie references you get because, like I said, there's the majority of them are like big blockbuster movies from back in that era. Titanic, there's a Titanic reference, and
Of course.
RoboCop, and you should get them. But oh my God, Roth, I've been singing the praises of that one forever, but nobody will take me up on it. Duckman is fantastic. Duckman. Every time Duckman comes up, I say it should be included in that discussion. I mean, it literally won awards.
Who was Duckman's arch nemesis that was different?
King Chicken.
But who voiced him? Because it was,
it
was like a famous person.
Yeah, Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. Yeah, and he would always pretend he wasn't King Chicken, right?
Yes.
And he was doing the voices too the whole time.
It's Duckman is very funny. It is very adult. Even now, it's very adult. It was very adult for that time. But it is a very philosophical and introspective show. Very meaningful. Like, it's very heady. It's wonderful. It's not as funny as the shows we mentioned. Those shows are humor first. Duckman is very funny, but I wouldn't put it on the same tier. But Duckman, as far as meaningful and philosophical and really just explorative, and it's amazing. It's an amazing show. It really makes you feel things. I love that show. The animation is the same team that did Rugrats, Retsuza, that I never remember her name. Klasky Kuspo is what I say, and I'm sure that's wrong. Klasky sounds right, but
Klasky.
Clancy. I've been calling her Crandall. Klasky. Yeah, Klasky Supo, I guess is how you would say it. You don't pronounce the C in that. CSUPO. They've done a lot of I mean, they were a Nickelodeon era. I love Cartoon Talk. They were a Nickelodeon era studio. Like,
did they do Rocko's Modern Life, or was that someone else?
no? So they did Real Monsters. They did Rugrats. They did Wild Thornberries. They did Rocket Power.
Oh, yeah.
They did Duckman.
I can't believe they did Duckman too. That's crazy.
Let's look it up. Let's see what other ones I'm forgetting. I know there's ones I forgot and ones I probably won't know. They did Rugrats All Grown Up, which is not a surprise. I knew this. They did early seasons of The Simpsons.
Oh.
Let's look at all their filmography. I love this stuff. As Told by Ginger. I couldn't remember the name of that show. My sister really liked that show.
My sister did too. I feel like that's a little sister kind of show.
I mean, I watched it. It was good. It wasn't, I liked Rugrats better, but man, they haven't done too much since then. That's funny. I thought they were like still going strong. I guess not.
Well, they probably don't, they probably
they're
hire,
doing a new Rugrats.
CGI guys or something.
They're doing a new CG Rugrats, which, listen, I think you can use CG to make very interesting, fun-looking movies, but by and large, CG animated movies are so visually boring to me. It makes me angry because I think there's so much more passion and art shown in traditional animation. There's, boring regular animation too, but it's the like big movie house stamp of approval CG movie that I'm just tired of. Like,
Yeah, I even have that problem with like Pixar movies.
Yes.
Even when I like them a lot.
Spider-Verse is a
Yeah.
CG movie. That's a
looks awesome.
shining example of doing something amazing in
Yeah.
CG. Like that's do that. Use CG for that. The new Trigun, that's I guess the first couple episodes of Trigun that are out, is a CG anime. And when I heard it was going to be a CG anime, I was like, oh, God. Then I saw the trailer and I was like, wow, this looks like it looks traditional anime, but now it's just everything is a 3D model. Like it looks unbelievable. Looks really great. So I think amazing things can be done in CG. I just feel like when it comes to animation, I feel like the animation, especially with movies, should be pushed in some way, like make it visually interesting somehow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rate a movie poorly for not being visually interesting in animation. I just personally feel it's a shame when you have an animation because you literally have a blank canvas. You can make it look however you want.
That's like the magic of animation is you can do whatever you want. And some they just kind of
it's part of why I appreciate animation so much because I appreciate filmmaking to a huge degree. Like that's incredible, and set design and costumes and all that. But with an animation, you literally have nothing. There's nothing there, and you are making it. Like every camera movement, every frame of animation, every like you have to. People are creating every that just blows my mind. That so much work goes. Like Pinocchio on Netflix. Like from a visual standpoint and a technical standpoint, mind-boggling.
I don't. You probably haven't watched that behind the scenes thing that they have on there.
Yeah, I did.
How amazing is it? Because they're showing like sped up of like literally a guy every frame fiddling with it, and I just wouldn't be able. Forget being artistic enough to do it. I wouldn't have the patience, even if I was the most artistic person in the world. I'd be like, screw it.
Yeah, from
unbelievable.
From a movie standpoint, I didn't like it, but I watched the behind the scenes because I love animation in general. I definitely want to see the people that pour the blood, sweat, and tears into that stuff, like Aardman and all the Wallace and Gromit and everything that they do. Like that's like those studios that do stop animation. They have a very special passion for that kind of animation because that goes far beyond what traditional animators are doing nowadays, and most of that stuff is computer based, which makes the work a lot easier. But stop animation, there's no, there's improvements in making them, but you're still brute forcing it. You are moving the thing every little millimeter, and that's the way it is. Hi T-Man 5X, good to see you. You caught us for the end of the after show. I'm so sorry. CG with good 2D shaders can look amazing. Kyle, I agree. Yes, if anybody is into anime and hasn't seen what Trigun looks like, take a look at that, because man, did that trailer blow me away. It completely flipped my opinion. The bad guys, it's not ringing a bell. The bad guys. Wow. No, I heard of this and I haven't seen it.
It's got my man Sam Rockwell.
I heard modest, decent reviews for it, but I haven't. That's another great one on Netflix for animation. The family, where the robots take over.
Claus. Santa Claus.
Come on. Versus the machines. Somebody's versus the machines.
Robots.
Oh, the Mitchells versus the machines.
That's a great example of a CG animated film that has character and personality. And I like that movie too. But that was great. I really liked the way that was done. But yes, Pixar and I would say worse, DreamWorks. From a visual standpoint, their movies do nothing for me.
Well, the problem is like so many of them look the same.
Like I haven't seen, was it Red?
Luca, Red.
What's the panda one?
Red.
Turning Red.
Oh, Turning Red.
I haven't seen that yet, but at least
I liked it.
That, from a visual standpoint, has some other influence going on there. Like it's influenced by other Asian animations. Yeah. But
they've got
Wall-E and Cars, and
they've got good
Toy Story, and all of them.
They've got most of them have pretty good stories where as an adult you could watch it and get something out of it.
Yeah.
But like you're right, you don't go to it, you don't watch it for the animation at all.
Yeah, and again, I want to stress this very clearly. I would not poo-poo an animated movie for the way it looks as in my opinion of the movie overall. I would separate from the experience of the movie, just like I do with games. I just said it for me personally. I am saddened when I see animation using such a rubber stamp approach, because I find animation to be amazing.
I think a big part of the problem is people still have this bias against animation. They think it's strictly for children's entertainment, which is why
makes me so mad. Yeah, I just was reading about this week, because it's gotten leagues better, but it's still there.
Yeah, and
you know what it's about? It's about Velma, because people are like,
okay,
if this what American animation studios think adult animation is like, we have so far to go, because they're like, other countries have been doing adult animation. I even hate that as a term, but like animation that's not geared towards young kids for so long, and America, for the most part, still doesn't get it. Obviously, where there's no big movie studios that are putting out animated films that aren't geared towards children for the most part. Like, I love Pixar movies, and I got nothing wrong with any of those, but where's Pixar's adult movie? Do one. Why not?
And it doesn't even need to be like adult content. Just I just want them to take some some creative chances, like visually speaking.
Yeah. Like, when we're talking about adult, we're not saying it doesn't need blood or guts or anything like that, or sex or anything like that. Just like the this is a bad example. I was going to say, what's the series on Netflix of shorts?
Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, I mean, those do have a lot of violent things in them, but that's adult animation. There's ones that are heady in there. It's not just all that stuff. It's so saddening to me. It's so saddening to me, because the rest of the world, some portions of the rest of the world, understand animation is nothing more than a medium to tell stories, and Americans think it's for children.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
It's changed, but it's not where I feel it should be or needs to be.
Love, Death, and Robots is a great showcase of what can be too. Like, even if you're not down with the story that much, it's kind of like it's cool to see like different types of art styles and what they can do, and like it's amazing what they can do. So.
Sorry, Kirby, you were going to say more.
Was I?
Wait. When you were talking about Velma.
Oh yeah, well, I was just gonna say, like, whenever animated movies like attempted to, get a little darker, this happened in like the 80s. Like, those were always like financial failures, and that's a big part of why they won't take the risk anymore.
And you're right. That's a great example, because those are still movies aimed at children, but they are certainly darker and have a more adult tone to them. Like, even Secret of NIMH, like, without a doubt.
Yeah, I was thinking of like Secret of NIMH and like
Secret
the Black
of NIMH
Cauldron.
Basically, Don Bluth. Everything Don Bluth touches.
Well, not everything.
His had more.
Like, his most successful movie was like, his attempt to make like a Disney princess kind of film.
Yeah.
Who did Wizards? You should know that, right?
Oh yeah, Wizards by Ralph Bakshi. Speaking of adult animation.
Yeah, that's about as adult as it gets. That shit's nuts.
To be completely fair, I think Americans are behind when it comes to adult content in general, because when you hear that, they think blood, sex, violence.
Well, yeah, we over here we'll put like people getting their heads blown off or whatever, but we won't put a titty. But like in Germany, it's like there's boobies all over their TVs, but they won't have like blood and guts.
You can say ass, but you can't say asshole. How dare you say asshole? That'll get hole will get.
I think you said asshole.
I did by accident. Don't say asshole either.
Oh,
yeah, we're so backwards. Whatever. Well, that was our talk. There was something else I want to talk about, but whatever. Next week, Lube will be here for the podcast. There's a spoiler for you.
Awesome.
Because
Captain Lube will get
next week's podcast will be earlier than usual too. I think we're going to aim for noon.
Oh, okay.
Because it's the Royal Rumble day.
Does that start at 7 or 8? 8. Okay.
Unless 8. But I want to make sure we got everything cleaned up.
I can never remember when it actually starts.
So Lube will be here. Lube is coming for the podcast and a Royal Rumble. He's very excited to make a day of it. So
he has to.
he's been saying
has
that
to
multiple
enjoy it.
times. Yes.
Oh, it's so sad.
So
Happy to have
hopefully
him.
he won't be drinking before he gets here for this podcast, but we'll see what happens. Podcast Royal
He's
Rumble.
only got one day off, what, a year? So like he's got to drink and do the podcast and see us all on the same day, I think.
Well, you know, Lube is Lube, so we'll see how it goes. I know he's been waiting to talk to everybody about how he played Coffee Talk, so look forward to that.
Okay, now this is Ice Dilbert. I know we're trying to wrap this up. This is a great like example of really great animation, but at the same time, who gives a crap? You know what I mean? Like I don't know what to say. Like how amazing are those fibers in that guy's shirt in this screenshot? But at the same time, that's not what makes a good animation movie. You know what I mean? But like I don't know. I know you're trying to wrap it up, but
no, it's fine. Kurt Dog, I don't want to say there aren't plans for Parents Play, but there's no solid plans because you know, I see my parents once a week. I do have the time to do it. But I don't have the time to edit. And it's tough. It's tough. Like if I was going to do it, it'd have to be like a once a month thing, honestly, if I did it. And I think that's being generous.
And that would be way worse than never again, right? Once a month is worse than never again. Oh
well,
no, it's not.
Well, that's the thing. Like I'd like to do once a month, and that would be my best ability.
We want your parents playing.
It'd be like you know, I could probably do once a month for a while, and then something gets in the way, and then it'd be I miss a month, and then I want to do it. I love it. You're not the only ones that miss it. I do miss it. It's just
what if you did it and like just filmed them doing like 10 or 12 of them before you even edit them, and then edit them like after the fact.
Other thing. They're also technical nightmares because I can't tell you how many episodes of Parents Plays I've filmed where things for whatever reason don't sync up. A hiccup happens along the way and things get screwed up and a microphone doesn't work. That's always a hiccup. That's the one hiccup I prepare for. So I haven't ever recorded a Parents Play on my new laptop here. I could do that and hopefully it'll go well. The problem is introducing the other camera. That's where the syncing and all that becomes a nightmare, especially when I'm editing like I do because I'm editing in jokes and cut-ins and stuff like that. So it's a lot of room for introduction of issues. But if it was them not on camera, that'd be a lot easier. But then you lose part of the charm of Parents Play. So listen. I'll try and do one and we'll see how it goes. It's a good excuse to do one on the laptop, so I could try that. What game? What did they last do? Kirby in the Forgotten Realms?
Oh, wow.
Where did they go now?
Yeah, where?
I got to look at what's out there.
Last of Us?
I
gotta be a Nintendo game.
I gotta look at what possibilities there are, but I'm sure there's plenty of things.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Could throw them in River City Girls too. That just came to mind.
It's got to be something new, right? Like, because you can't really, you can't
do
do
whatever.
like N64 on your.
Well, I could. I got ways of doing it. Yeah.
Well, we'll make it harder for you.
Clubhouse games.
Conker's Bad
You know
Fur
what we
Day.
could do? What's always easy to do and always makes for a funny episode? Have them play a game show video game. Those always go well.
Those are
So
good.
they've done Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy and Family Feud. We could go back for another one of those. I got the Price is Right game. I think we might have done that though.
Sale of the Century? Did they make a
We
game
could
of that?
you know what would be pretty funny if I did one of the Millionaire games because that'd probably be so lame and so funny at the same time. Just
Well,
don't know.
anything with your parents, I think, is going to be entertaining.
Let's put it honestly. With my mom and dad both there, and my dad playing off of my mom, then that's all
it's
you need,
brilliant.
really,
It's
so.
such a great thing.
Should have my dad review every episode of The Last of Us for Patreon members.
That actually might be really funny, you know, just
Right?
because like he likes it, but he doesn't understand what he's seeing. So you got to be like, what?
like I said with
He doesn't pick up on context.
with
the Halo show or
Black Widow, when we saw Black Widow in the theater, and we were like talking about it afterwards, and we're like, "What'd you think of it?" And he goes, "I don't care for that robot guy." And we were like, What robot guy? There's no
You know
robot
who he
in the
meant.
movie.
He was in a different theater.
In his the theater of his mind. Yeah, I don't even remember who it was that he was referring to as a robot. But then,
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who could possibly be a robot in that.
He was probably talking about Taskmaster. right?
probably Taskmaster. If I have to remember, if I had to guess,
I
But,
guess.
They forgot about the unmasking. Scene.
yeah, like
It happens.
But this happens with every show he watches. There's always something where there's like either something blatantly obvious he doesn't pick up on or something he sees that no one else has ever found or would ever think to see. So, right. We could do that. Parents Play stays regular on YouTube and My Parents Whatever goes on Patreon. My Parents Watch or something.
It'd be amazing. Like, dude, seriously,
It'd be
anything with
funny.
your parents. The Thanksgiving was great. Like, I know
I had a lot of fun on Thanksgiving. I'm glad you did. But I think the key is it was a day. And
right.
then you
Yeah,
left.
no, I can see it being a lot. If it's
not
every
a
day,
lot
but-
for me because I'm in it and I love it and I always think it's funny. But I think other people, if you put up with like a week of it, you'd be like, all right,
Well,
because
yeah.
that's not like we're putting on a thing. Like we're acting like this. That's my parents all the time.
I think
so.
once a week is fine. What do you see them every Thursday or something? Like
Yeah.
that's good. You know, I got to see them once on Thanksgiving and it was great because like they're just so funny. Like, I mean, they're not trying to be, but it's funny and like it's great to talk with them and they're
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
dude,
it's
you
great.
can stress it. Them on Parents Play is not a shtick. That is them.
Oh my god, not at all. Well, that's why
They're
I guess,
on 24/7, baby.
Yeah, I guess the point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter if they're playing a game or watching or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I will watch them do whatever. Like they could wait in line at the DMV, and I guarantee you'll find some humor in that.
You know what would be really funny? My dad watching TV shows is really funny because he has very strong opinions about things that no one has strong opinions about. Like if you're familiar with the game show Chain Reaction, my dad has a visceral reaction to the show every time because he hates the host. Now the host is the most like milquetoast, middle of the road guy. He does an okay job. He's not offensive in any way. My dad despises the man. Like when the show comes on, he'll say like, here comes the game show with the world's most interesting son of a bitch. And like, and every week he's like, how did I get this man to do this job? Why does it like, always
love
goes
it.
off
I
on this
love
man. He's really funny to watch TV with. So.
That's so good.
Oh, well, thank you for talking about that. I'll see what I can do with Parents Play. We'll get something going. I'll do something for you. All right, that's it. Whew, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hey, play some games. Hang out with friends and family. Rest. Relax. You deserve it. We will see you next week for Royal Rumble Saturday. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
It's over.